Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Night Owl, a show that we do twice a week where we talk about all the latest in pop culture news, TV and movie reviews, gaming news, and just the general conversations of the day. For those who don't know me, I'm Price of Reason, and with me, as always, is my co host, Professor R2. How's it going, Professor?
Oh, it's going. Are we live?
I hope we are. I don't
Are
even know. To tell you the truth, I don't know. It looked like we were live.
it looked like it went live, but I'm not seeing anything on YouTube yet.
Really?
Oh no.
Wait a second. Let's see.
Oh no, it finally kicked in. It kicked in. We
Okay,
we are
okay.
live now. Okay.
Okay, there were some technical difficulties here, Price of Reason Live Studios, but we've managed to overcome the odds, and now we're here and we're doing our show, and we're happy to see everybody here. So, and definitely a lot of things to discuss today. It's a very
Yeah.
interesting day.
Yeah. Lots of things to talk about. I don't know where we want to start. I saw a movie.
You saw a movie. Well,
Yes.
let's surprise people and talk about
Yes.
that. What? Tell us what
Surprise.
movie you saw.
I got to see Minions and Monsters. So this is obviously it's a kids movie, right? So probably not a lot of people in the audience gonna be super excited about going out to see this one. But hey, my kids, we've basically seen all of the Despicable Me and the Minions movies together. We haven't gotten to see all of them in the theater, but we've seen quite a few of them in the theater together. And this is one. It was like, hey, there's another one coming out, and some of the early buzz was that was actually a pretty solid, pretty fun movie. And so yeah, I got to see it, and I will say overall, I was pleasantly surprised. I did enjoy it. If you're a kid at heart, and I will say also, if you have some nostalgia, some love for classic cinema, like all the way back to Hollywoodland days, like silent pictures and the early days of motion pictures and such, there's a lot of sort of fun and funny stuff in this. There's a ton of little callbacks. There's lots of little Easter eggs that are thrown in there to do with early cinema, and the story. Well, I'd say the story, like a lot of the Minions movies, this is kind of all over the place. There's in this case a bunch of different storylines that are happening at once, but it's almost more like there's a bunch of different set pieces, although they do come together in kind of a narrative in the end. It's almost the funny thing is that especially the early part of the film is very much in the style of like a Forrest Gump or a Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, where the minions are unwittingly playing this role in all of these different pivotal events and films and different stylistic developments in cinema, and so that I found incredibly funny. They they're responsible for sort of a bunch of these different silent films. They're responsible for basically creating film noir.
Oh,
they,
funny.
they knock some lights around and stuff like that, and it changes the way the shadows are being presented on the stage, and everything's kind of create film noir. Of course, all of it is wrapped in the goofy sort of silliness of the minions, right? Their gibberish talk that they have, and which actually comes into play because obviously, as I said, it kind of starts in the silent picture era, and then of course you get into talkies. Well, in the silent picture era, they were stars. But when they move into talkies, obviously now everyone can hear the ridiculous gibberish and everything that they make. And so now they're no longer welcome in in Hollywood. They're no longer welcome in film.
It's kind of funny. That sounds
And
kind of funny.
yeah, well, and actually it parallels the journeys of some people, like Harold Lloyd and others who did not survive the translation from the silent film into the
That was a
talkies,
big
right?
thing. That was a big thing back in the day that a lot of those kind of stars didn't survive because you were used to not hearing them talk. So then suddenly you hear them talk, and maybe they had a foreign voice or an accent or something. There were different reasons, but or it just didn't sound as cool. You know, it didn't.
Yeah,
It,
or
it,
they didn't have the voice that you expected them to have, or something of that nature,
right.
right? And so, yeah, there that kind of parallels that journey that has been explored before with real life characters. So, you do get it's not too many. Don't want to throw any spoilers in there. If someone wants to go see this, if they want to go, take their kids, grandkids to see it, whatever, fantastic. Or if you want to go see it yourself, as I said, this is genuinely a pretty fun little movie. It's not like it's going to win awards for top quality scripts and stuff, but again, the early part of the film really did have me laughing with all the references in there. There are references in there to basically every silent film you can think of. There's references in there to A Trip to the Moon, Metropolis.
I like that. Now I actually kind of want to see it. Now
There's references to Safety Last and other stuff, that things with Chaplin and Buster Keaton, and there's a bunch of that stuff that's kind of thrown in there, which is a lot of fun. It was fun seeing all those little things sort of woven into the storyline. The overarching story though is once they have these two minions who have decided that they're not very good at being minions for the big boss, as they have been in the other films. And so they want to go make movies themselves. And even after they're sort of thrown out of Hollywood, they still are passionate about making these movies. And so they have an idea to make a monster movie. We've seen this in the trailers. And then, of course, they it's a roundabout. It's actually explained in the show, but they have a tome of magic spells, basically, that one of the minions has saved, and they use it to summon basically eldritch gods. But one of them is this goofy little squishy character that sort of looks like a baby Cthulhu called Doomy. And but then there's other monsters that get summoned, and they're trying to use them to make this movie and stuff, and it's actually really clever and fun. And all of the references to classic cinema had me in stitches. I thought that actually,
once
really
you
enjoyable.
explained it that way, I kind of feel like seeing it now, because I like classic
honestly,
cinema.
if you've seen any of the other films, you know kind of what to expect with the characters. It's going to be very goofy, very silly, but all of the references back to cinema really, really had me enjoying this a lot. And then, I mean, the overall story is pretty simple. There's some goofy stuff with sort of the evolution of early science fiction. There's some references to that in there, and the fantasy, gods and stuff like that. But overall, like I said, I thought this was a lot of fun. I would recommend it, especially if you've seen the other movies, or you've got kids, grandkids that have seen these other movies. I think there's stuff in there. There's a lot, like I said, a lot of little things that are snuck in there for people who are fans of classic cinema. That they're going to go right over kids' heads, right? They're not going to know what the joke of the guy laying in a bed with a the snow globe. Like they're not going to know what that joke is. and what he's supposed to say and what he doesn't say, right, when he drops the snow globe. They're not going to get that joke, but adults, people, fans of classic cinema definitely will. So I had a good time. I would recommend it. Yeah. Probably, I would say, I mean, obviously it's a kid's movie, kind of goofy, kind of silly, not top of the line story, but a lot of fun, enjoyable. And it's probably a 7.5 out of 10. I had a good time with it.
That's a pretty good endorsement. If you had to compare it to previous movies, or those
the previous Minions movies, yeah, I'd say it's probably better than most of them, to be honest. The original Despicable Me is still, I think, an excellent film. It's well made, it's well told, it's a lot of fun, well animated, especially for its day. And,
how many have they made until now? I feel like I didn't see all of them.
There are 4 Despicable Me films, I believe. And then there's now 3 Minions films. I think that's right. Let's see.
Well, they really know how to milk that franchise, don't they?
Yeah.
But at least, from what you're describing, it doesn't sound like somebody's preaching or bothering you with like crazy messaging. It sounded like a fun, escapist
Oh,
animated movie.
there is no messaging in here whatsoever. None at all.
That's good news.
Yeah, so let's see. Despicable Me, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And then Minions. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I was right. Yeah, 4 Despicable Me movies, the three Minions movies. Yeah, of the Minions movies, I actually think this is probably my favorite. This is the one I had the most fun with. The other two were fine, as kids entertainment, but there was a lot, I think, in here for adults to enjoy, including them locking George Lucas in a closet, which was hilarious.
That sounds pretty funny. Maybe they should have locked him before he sold Star Wars to Disney.
It's funny. He's part of. Well, he's not in a closet. He's in a glass case. and he looks like he's supposed to be one of the exhibits. This happens in like the first 5 seconds of the movie.
That's funny.
He's supposed to be part of this like Hollywood exhibit, and they're like, George Lucas, and then he says, "Can I come out now?"
And he did the voice himself?
No, I don't think it's somebody else doing it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Would have been fun if he did it, but
it would have been funnier if it were him. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's someone doing an impersonation.
Well,
but yeah,
I am happy.
Like I said, I would recommend
good.
it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Wait, did I not share this?
Oh, I guess not. That's okay.
I put it here. I'm so silly. I put it here the whole time. I'm sure that you're like talking because I was doing a few things in the background. In any case, I see that it has 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that matters, but at least if you say it's good, then maybe perhaps it's a rare occasion where the critics just gave an honest opinion.
I honestly, I think the if you look at the popcorn meter, I don't know how long it takes for them to update that for the actual, how many people have to be there on the popcorn meter for it to show a score. But I would guess it's probably pretty close to that. I wouldn't be surprised to see, they do the cinema scores. I would not be surprised to see an A for this. I think everyone going to see this got exactly what they wanted and maybe a little bit more. So,
but that's a much that's the most positive thing I've heard you say in a very long time about something you went to the theater to watch. So
I mean, if you're talking about like kids entertainment, right? Like recently we've gotten we got the Mario movie.
We had Mario He-Man. You might argue that He-Man was supposed to be. Supergirl was supposed to be for families.
No, that's not a kids movie at all, man.
I mean, they wanted it to be a kids movie. It's just James Gunn, just doesn't seem to. He doesn't seem to appeal to families, kids, or people that like heroes.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, but this sounded fun. This movie, the way you're describing it, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was on the fence about it, but once you said that they go into like classic cinema and do these kind of homages and things like that, that's really up my alley. That like you've piqued my interest. I feel like that meme with the Leonardo DiCaprio that now you've piqued my interest. Whatever it is that he says in that movie.
Yes.
So it sounds pretty cool.
It was fun. Like I said, like Mario Galaxy, right? That's probably the most recent, like sort of kids focused. Well, I guess Toy Story 5 is, a kids movie.
I skipped that one.
I would say I enjoyed this more than I enjoyed Toy Story 5. Although, I mean, Toy Story 5 wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it wasn't great. Had a lot of issues. This was more enjoyable than that. More enjoyable than Mario Galaxy. Mario Galaxy was really, really weak on the story front. But just some harmless fun. Some of his Big Sur River said something about if it's for kids and it's morally, there's nothing like they're trying to push on kids or anything. If anything, I would say that this the moral of this really is that if you have a passion and you love something, you should keep doing it, keep trying, keep working at it, and then you can succeed. Which is a really good message for kids, right? Like keep working at it. Don't give up just because you fail the first time or other people tell you you're no good. Like keep trying, and you might succeed.
It's a positive message. No,
We
but it
could use
sounds
more of
good.
those. Yeah.
It sounds good. I actually am going to now that you've explained what it's about, I may make an effort to watch it.
Yeah.
I
I really
did.
think I do think you would really get a kick out of it. At
Do
least
I have to
the
go
first
back?
like 40 minutes or so of the film. Yeah.
I watched like the first Despicable Me movie a very long time
Oh, you
ago,
don't have to know anything about any
and
of
I
them. Yeah.
think that I watched maybe the first Minions movie, although I have difficulty remembering. I know the general idea there. It's been a very long time. I didn't see the second Minion one. I didn't see the other three Despicable Me movies. So can I could just go into this one not really
Absolutely. You
knowing
can just
anything?
go right into it. There's in fact it gives you kind of a little primer right at the front, all about kind of reminding you who the minions are, and that they're always they're looking for some boss to serve, right? They want to, they want some, and it actually shows a few of those along the way, including there's one bit that was quite hilarious because one of the minions invents Legos essentially, and immediately suffers the consequences of it. I'm not going to say anything more. I don't want to spoil it. So
I see. All right. Well, I'll definitely check it out.
I think it's a lot of
Now
fun.
that
Yeah.
you've said it, I'm gonna look at it more positively, and yeah, that's good. It's good news. I mean, I'm not upset that something is good. Like I'm happy that
Yeah.
finally something came out and it wasn't a complete disaster. Unlike everything else that seems to be heading in a bad direction, except for like small movies this year. We had He-Man, which some people liked, but I didn't like it. Uh,
Yeah.
it's so weird because like I understand. I think I understand why some people liked it. Maybe people that really didn't care all that much. They remembered some nostalgic thing. They were in it for the memes and they didn't really care, and that's fine. But I just didn't like what they did with He-Man. Personally, I didn't like it. And in addition to that, you had Supergirl, another disaster. So these are
Oof.
movies that normally, if they're well made, I would like movies like that. With all this kind of thing that they were now saying, oh, like they tried to. I saw that there was like an article somewhere where they tried to say that the reason people didn't go to see Supergirl was because of the manosphere. It's such a stupid, stupid take. We'll
Yeah.
get to that. We'll get to that. But let's start off. Today there was this trailer for the Odyssey, and man, the thing is that I still rate Nolan as a director. I want to go watch it, and I'm hoping that in spite of everything I'm seeing in these commercials, that it'll be good. I always give every movie a fair chance, and want to give it a fair chance. But man, Nolan is not helping here with it's either I'm completely wrong and he's going to stun me with how great this is going to be, or he went the route of all these other people ranging from like Rings of Power to I don't know what. It's like I say this all the time, and I hate that Hollywood has made me that I have to be in a position that I have to talk about things like this because generally speaking, I can't speak for other people. Can I speak for myself? I don't have any issue with like a diverse cast of anything. You know what I mean? Like I don't care as long as there's a good story and
Yeah. Well,
there's a cast
and if the diversity is just natural to the story, right?
right. So, and especially if you're making a movie that's something happening like, in 2026 and there's like a diverse cast, that makes sense because we're in 2026. Like you said, as long as it's organic, as long as it's not like, oh, well, we brought this guy of this ethnicity so we can make sure that the other guy looks bad, or there's a woman that has to put this guy in his place. Once it starts going around these kind of weird identity politics, I don't like it. Uh, it's it reminds me. I don't know why I suddenly thought of it that they did this Transformers movie, Rise of the Beast, and I went and I saw it, and I was so annoyed. I went back and I explained that the movie starts off with a guy who's like it's supposed to be taking place in the 90s. There's a guy who's Latino. And his mom like is coaching him. She says, "Well, when you go into that interview, you gotta laugh at their jokes. The whites like it when you laugh at their jokes." And I'm like, what is this doing in a Transformers movie? You know what I mean? Then he walks on the street, the same guy, and some guy is like a communist activist that's trying to like, onboard him or something. And he's like, no, we got to fight for the people. And I'm thinking like, we're just 2 minutes in. You know what I mean? Like the movie is just The credits have just rolled. I just want to see like Optimus Prime and some like Transformers. I really don't want to hear about any of that stuff. And then when I said things about it, they're like, "You just don't like diversity." No, I don't care about the diversity. I don't understand why that has to be the dialogue. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Oh yes. Yeah.
It's not what I've seen from Hollywood in all these, especially recent years. They don't just bring the diverse casting; they bring them in order to also they have some other kind of underlying agenda that they need to like peddle through. Now, in the case of Christopher Nolan, I really don't know what his intentions are. I can't say that until today I thought his movies were overly political or trying to lecture me or anything like that. So that's why I think that it really surprised people that Christopher Nolan was the one director that really didn't need any of this. You know what I mean? Like he could just adapt it and do it and just do a faithful adaptation. He doesn't need all this kind of weird pandering or whatever it is. There's no point to it. And I know some people like to use the same thing with Rings of Power. Well, it's a fantasy. If you believe that there's orcs, you'll believe that there's like a diverse cast here. But it's not the same thing because and we all know this. If there's, let's say, a place that there's a certain locale, especially in a fantasy world that's sort of like medieval, you're not expecting to go to a town in the middle of nowhere and suddenly there's like the most diverse group of people in that town.
And it looks like downtown Seattle.
Right.
Yeah.
It sort of takes you out of the movie. The same way that if you made a movie that had anything to do with like Africa and then there were like a bunch of white people, primarily on screen, I think that was weird. Or even any white people there. You know what I mean? Like you have to remain sort of, even if it was a fictional thing. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Even when they did Black Panther, okay, and he's in Wakanda, I don't expect that Wakanda will be filled with Asian white people and people from India. That wouldn't make sense to me. They look the way they look because that's what they are. You know what I mean? Like you expect it to be sort of an African nation, right?
Of course.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So
and if you make a film about Finland in the 1400s, everyone there should be white as the day is long, right? Because that's what Finland looked like in the 1400s. You didn't have Indians and Asians and large populations of black immigrants and stuff. That's not what the world looked like then. It's so silly.
When they made Aladdin, when they did the live action, okay, I didn't expect him to walk around and that all the people there would be like Asian and white in, wherever he's at. Now, you could say it's sort of a fictional place, but it's obvious that it's something Middle Eastern-ish. You know what I mean? It's something along those lines. Even if it's a fictional story, you know where they're going, what the geography is and where they're supposed to be. You're not going to see like 7 people that look like they're from Norway walking around and they're the main characters there, or that the village is filled with people from Norway when Aladdin is like, in the marketplace. Do you got what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
Like you have to stay true to whatever that story is. It's not a matter of like one group or another group. It's good for capturing the magic of whatever story you're trying to tell. And there's different locales and different things. In some cases, maybe it's easier to kind of do something that's a little more if you want to call it diverse or whatever. Some cases you could do it. And in some cases, I think that it doesn't work. And I think that the Odyssey, my instinct tells me this may not have been the best one to do this for. You know what I mean? It almost seems like, and I've said this before to you, like Christopher Nolan, he until now didn't really go into this whole woke thing. And this is so late to the party now. It's like he could have already not done it at this point. But I feel like somebody told him somewhere like, Chris, we're so disappointed. Out of all the directors, you never chipped in. You never chipped in with the woke. You didn't do anything. You did no weird agenda peddling. All these other people did it and you didn't do it. And he's like, you want agenda peddling? Step aside. You know what I mean? And then
hold my Chianti, right? I'll show you.
Hold my what did you say? Hold my Chianti?
Yeah. Come on, you think he drinks beer?
No, he doesn't. He does drink
Chianti. He drinks whatever the most pretentious thing you can find is.
You are 100%. He said, hold my Chianti. That was a good one, Professor. He said, hold my Chianti. And then he went and rushed rush to get all these people here. And I'll say this again because, like, I've seen a lot of memes, even this guy Huff, which, like, I know this guy. He's there's a few groups that I'm in. I don't know where his meme is, and I don't want to start with AI because that sometimes is a problem too. But there's a guy called Huff. I don't have anything against him. He's in a few groups over the years. I've been in a lot of these kind of groups, sometimes in these kind of group chats with a lot of people. And there's all these creators there and whatever. Huff is a guy I've run into. For years he's been around doing these kind of satire and whatever it is that he does. And he did this thing where, like, he's kind of did AI and made some jokes at expense of Lupita's character there, and did like an AI thing and with Odyssey. It's silly, but what I'll say is this: is that I don't dislike Lupita. I feel like, in her position, and I've said this before today earlier to Erwin and Badger, who I hung out with for a bit. Basically, when you're an actor, there's a few directors that if you get a call from them, there is no. You know what I mean? You don't say no. It's an automatic yes. Basically, Christopher Nolan calls, and I'll say this: I'm not an actor. If I'm sitting with you, Professor, right now as we're doing the Night Owl, I get a call, and Christopher Nolan calls me, and he's like, "Oh, I have a new movie, and we want you to play an important role in it." You know what I'm going to say? Yes, great.
Oh yes, please.
I'll be there. No problem, Chris. I'll see you there. And then that'll be it. I'm not even arguing. I don't know what it is. It's like, oddly, I could show up to the set and I'm Martin Luther King, and I committed to this. It's Christopher Nolan. You know what I mean? Same thing with Quentin Tarantino. If he calls me, he's like, "Oh, well, I'm doing a movie, and maybe you want to be in it." Yes, I want to be in it. I'll be in it. I don't know what movie you're making. I'm in. I'm not an actor. I'll be there. So I guess, like, can I be mad at these actors? Be like, they should have known better. I don't know what they should have known. They get a call from Nolan. He's like, "I'm cooking up some movie here. Do you want to be a part of it?" Yes. Sometimes they don't even see a screenplay.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't get anything.
I remember, like, this story with Matt Damon, who basically he was taking a break, and he told his wife something along the lines of he's taking a break from making movies for a year or whatever it is, that the only thing that could make a difference to him is if Christopher Nolan calls him and wants him to be in a movie. And I guess while he was on break and trying to take a vacation to be with his family or whatever he was going on about, he gets a call from Christopher Nolan who says, "Matt, do you want to be in my new movie Oppenheimer?" Didn't even tell him, I think, what the role is. I don't think he said anything. Matt Damon's like, yes, I'll be there, 100%. And Matt Damon is a guy, he's been in a lot of movies. You know what I mean? It's not like he's poor or sitting in the poorhouse or anything like that. Whatever this man said, he immediately said yes. He didn't even know what it was. He's done. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
There's this famous story, I don't know why I remember this now, that I always like this. I haven't seen whenever this interview is in a while, but initially when Back to the Future was made in 1984, whatever it is, in 1985, 1984 it was made, or at least 1980, whatever it is. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
In any case, Michael J. Fox was their first choice, but because he was on Family Ties, they wouldn't let him do it. And they actually tried to talk to the producers. I think that because of this contract, they never even went to him directly because they knew they couldn't get him. So initially, I don't even think that he knew that he was losing an opportunity. But when Eric Stoltz, they didn't, think he was a good fit, and they wanted to change, they went back to the producer of Family Ties and said, "Listen, we'll do whatever. We'll send limos, so he'll only work at night. You'll never miss a day of work for you. We'll do whatever." And then, like, I think that the producer said something like, "Well, let me talk to him. I have to see if he's even willing to do like a movie or something." So I think that he described it that actually the producer of Family Ties, or maybe it was his manager or the Family Ties are together. I don't know what. But basically somebody sat him down and said, "Hey, Michael, listen, there's a movie. This may be difficult because you're doing Family Ties, but there's also this movie that Steven Spielberg is producing." And then Michael J. Fox, apparently, legend has it said, "Yes, I'm interested." And they said, "But the movie is about, I don't care. You said Steven Spielberg? Yes, I'm in." And they're like,
Yeah,
"The movie's, I don't care. You said it was his movie. I'll do it. I'll do the movie." Like, he didn't care one more word. He didn't have to hear about it. It could have been about, like, Flying Dutchman. It could have been about like a mad scientist, or could have been about a hobo walking around in the street. You said Steven Spielberg, he was on board, and I remember that there was some interview that he explained it, but he explained it in a very charming way. You know what I mean? Because like you understand the situation. There's certain directors you say yes. So what am I going to say that like Lupita made a mistake? She got an offer, she took it. I mean, I can't hate on the actors for taking these roles.
What can you do? I mean,
the only thing that I can say is that I think that Christopher Nolan himself is kind of pompous and annoying. Now, maybe at the end I'll go see this movie and I'll think, wow, like Christopher Nolan, against all odds, really wowed me with this unique vision here. Maybe, but it doesn't seem that way, at least historically until now. Any person that's tried to do this thing has failed. Like this thing of, well, they didn't do woke well, but I know how to do woke. Like old Mike Chianti, like you said, I'll do the woke thing properly. Let me teach him. I think that James Gunn thought that he could do it and he failed. I think that Christopher Nolan is thinking he can do it and he's failing. And I'll tell you this: I mentioned to you the thing with Indiana Jones and Elsa and the Grail. That's how I see these people.
yeah.
Like, first of all, James Gunn was like with the Grail, and he's like, no, I can reach it. I can reach the woke. I can do it. And then, like, he fails. And then Indiana Jones is in that position, which I guess could be like Christopher Nolan. And he's like, no, I can do it. I can do the woke. And like, you need Sean Connery to come in and say, like, let it go, Christopher. You just need somebody to tell them it's not going to work. The trailer is getting ratioed into oblivion. This is not a good sign.
No, and remember, go back, look at the do you have it up?
Where is the trailer?
Yeah, let me see here. The original trailer, the one that came out like 6 months ago. Here we go. I can share this.
Show it, yeah. Quick. You can show the new one too.
Share this with this was oop, that's not what I want. Comment tab. Here we go. Oh, well, maybe it's gonna make me log out. Let me hold on.
Log out of this place?
Only the best technology.
I see.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. I think this is gonna work. All right. So not so much interested in, we don't need to watch the trailer. Everyone's seen this. But here was the, 6 months ago. 6/19, 109. So still had a lot of people who were very, very much interested in this film. Right. And here we have, here's the new one that was posted earlier today.
Wow.
Massively negative response on this one.
Are the comments? I'm afraid to look at the comments. Are the comments being blocked?
Nope. Comments are here. The gods can eat my shorts. For the face that launched 1,000 shit. The face that emptied 1,000 seats. Oh, that's not fair. Look at me. I'm the Helen now. Oh, that's so harsh. 50% blank screen, which is honestly more than it deserves. It's not wrong. Yeah. I mean, I guess we could watch the trailer if you want. I don't know how many people
let's just look at it. We can look at it. It's fine.
We'll give it a shot. It's a fairly short trailer.
Listen, this should have been a slam dunk for Nolan. This was just bring some actors that speak with a British accent, make it look like that kind of old school type of movie. I don't know what to tell you.
Oof.
Make them look more Greek and have sort of English accents, and I think you would have been onto something. I think it's before the shot of...
There it was. Oh,
Like, they're not really helping themselves with this.
Yeah. And again, I don't know that that's supposed to be Helen. I think it might supposed to be Helen's twin sister. Because apparently she plays both of them.
I see.
No, I don't really care.
It's not the right thing to do. I don't think, and again, I cannot stress this enough. I actually like this actress. I don't like that people are hating on her. I don't want to, I don't want to point fingers and say things, and I'm not. That's why I'm not really joining in on some of like the festivities of the joking around on it and all that stuff. I personally, there's a part of me that feels like she was in a position that she thought that she's working with this great director that every actor wants to work with. I think that this whole thing is probably ill conceived, but I don't dislike her. There will be a lot of other movies that she would be in, and I'd have no issue with her. And I don't know. I'm trying to see that angle as well. I don't want to just pile up on these actors that took a paycheck or a payday, or even in this case, more than a paycheck and a payday, a chance to work with like one of the best directors out there now. And it's not fair to go and like make this about them. So I think, is it the wrong casting? I don't think it's the right casting. Do I dislike her? I don't dislike her. She's done nothing wrong to me. I
Hmm.
mean, honestly, even some of these other ones, like Robert Pattinson, I'm always kind of lukewarm about him. I understand that he acts better today than he did in that Twilight thing, but to tell you that he's like my favorite actor, not really. Tom Holland, is he okay as Spider-Man? I guess. Is he my favorite actor also? Also, no. Neither of them are my favorite. Not Pattinson and not Tom Holland. They're good to throw their names there, on the marquee, I guess, for Gen Zers or whatever it is that they're looking for. They don't really speak to me. Zendaya, do I really think much of the Zendaya? Not my cup of tea. Again, I don't hate her, but do I think that that's the best? Best casting, best whatever? No. And really, I don't really have one actor in this movie that I see on screen when I think of it that I'm like, wow, I'll go see the movie for this guy. There isn't even one. Do you see one like that here, Professor?
Oh, well, I don't really, there's not really anybody anymore that I'm like, oh, I will go see a movie because it's got this person in it. Like we don't have movie stars anymore, man. The movie star is dead. It's been the whole idea of the movie star has been dead since let's be honest, it's since the death of social or the birth of social media, right? That was the death of the movie
True.
star. Now we get to hear all of their stupid thoughts, and we get to hear about every little dumb cause du jour that they want to, go out there and promote, and they're out there ramming their politics down our throats day in and day out. Like the movie stars is gone. There's no mystery to them anymore, right? It's just these are actors, and they're actors that now everything about them, so they can't. It's next to impossible now for these actors to disappear into a role. That was the gift that we used to have, right? We didn't know who these people were. They were kind of glamorous. Sometimes they were kind of mysterious. We didn't really know what kind of
We
lives
we
they
were
led.
hoping they were good people, but we
It-
didn't know, and the
yeah,
less we knew, the better.
and
Because
the
it
less we
turns
knew
out
it, the
that they're
better.
they're pompous, self-entitled, a lot of them
Yeah,
assholes. So, and we don't need any of that. The less we know, less is more.
I didn't want to know anything about Rock Hudson. I don't care if he's gay. I wanted to watch a movie where I saw him embodying a character, playing a role, telling a story, and I wanted to enjoy that film and escape into watching what they're building in that film. Not look at it and go, "Hey, that guy's gay. Can you believe he's kissing a woman?" Because I don't care.
Nobody cares. Also, Ian McKellen, I never really cared, what he
No.
did. I didn't even know until like much didn't realize, or somebody told me at some point, and I didn't care either. Like, none of this matters to me. If I'm going to go see a movie, I only care about like the characters on screen. I don't care beyond that about anything. Uh, it's a matter of like when it started becoming like, oh, you have to respect my identity. We have to put my identity as the character and all this other stuff.
Yeah, well, and it's all about representation now. So it's all about them somehow representing somebody. So I'm making this movie and I'm playing this role so that people just like me, that only people that look just like me can be empowered by my performance. And it's disgusting. I mean, it's narcissism, right? I mean, that's all it really is now.
Right.
So
And yeah, so I mean, the thing is that Nolan, with any one of these trailers, isn't helping himself. I honestly think, if you want to know what I think, given what he was trying to do here, the less he would have shown, the better. If he would have just shown like on this date and date, I am releasing the Odyssey, and shown us like 1 second of footage of like some army of somewhere from like a distance, I think he would have had a better chance at selling this movie than anything that he's done until now. And I'm sure that they're all going to go and they're going to blame the chuds and all this other stuff. And if you want to know what I think that sometimes when these things happen, the quote unquote chuds may have a bit too much of a good time. You know what I mean? At ripping on some of these people, and it becomes like something that maybe it becomes a little bit over the top. But the bottom line is the chuds didn't make this movie. And when you make decisions like this, which this day and age, just people don't have any patience for. You know, we've been through the past 10 years of all this lecturing, of all this nonsense. Even if, let's say, somebody now did something in good faith and there was some kind of swapping or something because there was some kind of artistic reason behind it or whatever it is, the average Joe, their level of tolerance and patience for this weird kind of games is just zero at this point. You know what I mean?
Yep, I
Like,
sure do.
you know, back in the day, you had somebody like Eddie Murphy. He remade, I don't know what it was, The Nutty Professor. The Nutty Professor, I think it was Jerry Lewis or whatever it is. He made it that it's not Jerry Lewis, whatever it is. You know, obviously, you know, he's not, Eddie Murphy is, you know, not white, but he had his own vision for it. He did whatever he did. And people are like, okay, well, Eddie Murphy had his vision for it. He did his thing. It's not my favorite Eddie Murphy movie, but a lot of people liked it and it did well and it appealed to a lot of people. And I guess what I'm saying is people weren't sitting around and thinking at the time, oh, like, why did he do this? Why did he do that? You just thought, well, Eddie Murphy is talented. He wanted to do this. Maybe he had a good idea here. And he was really passionate about it. He played like 70 characters on screen. He seems to be having a blast doing it. And again, the landscape at the time wasn't that every single movie and show has to do this and also quote unquote teach you a lesson. You know what I mean? There was none of that. So he did something like that. I'm like, oh, okay, great. You know what I mean? It's not that I think that people were more open-minded than you would imagine, Professor. That people had more open-minded, approach. You had like Batman in 1989. I think Harvey Dent was played by Billy D. Williams, which they intended to bring back later and give him a bigger role, which they didn't do. They brought Tommy Lee Jones. I actually think that, you know, if you ask me, based on Tommy Lee Jones' performance there, I probably would have preferred Billy D. Williams, honestly, because Tommy Lee Jones really didn't deliver in that role. A rare L for Tommy Lee Jones there. But what I'm trying to say is that when Batman 1989 came out, I didn't hear people with like, you know, getting all angry, that they cast Billy D. Williams in that role. And I think that if they would have made another installment and he would have gotten the role that he was supposed to get, I don't think people would have been up in arms about it either. I think that back in the day when it was just like, okay, well, this is a good actor, we want him in the role, you'd be like, okay, that's cool. You know, today it's just, I think that just people are tired. You know what I mean? After 10 years of like bullshit that's happening, sorry, Sean, in bad faith, people just don't have any patience anymore. That's the truth. We see like a girl boss on screen, we already know where the movie is heading. We see like, you know, all these kind of swaps and they're starting to play around and whatever. We already know that there's going to be some underlying message that there's a reason they did this because now they have to do this and they have to do that. In Christopher Nolan's movie, is that going to happen? I don't know. But to be the last guy at the party after like a party that's lasted 10 years, that everybody at this party was miserable, or all the guests, let's put it this way, the host of the party were really, really hyped for the past 10 years. They loved it. The people hosting the party were having the time of their lives. Any guest that came to this party over the past 10 years has suffered. And just when it looks like the party is over, Christopher Nolan, like in the last 5 minutes of the party, walks in and he's like, guys, wait. And like you said, Professor, hold my Chianti. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like he just walks in like everybody's getting their coats already, and he's there. He's like, no, 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 I can do this. I can make it work. Don't leave. Don't go home. Like I can do it. Like look, and I think people just don't have any patience. Fat Joe says they completely ruined period piece movies for diversity points. Yeah, and it's sad because there's no need for it. You know, first of all, you can make so many new movies and have like a diverse cast, and it's not a big deal. They don't want to do that. They don't want to create anything new. They just want to go to all these old IPs, squeeze something out of them, try to like do all this kind of messaging and all this annoying stuff. People are just people are not stupid, and trying to blame, and we'll get to that in a second. What happened with Supergirl with the Manosphere is also weird. But the Dead Man 79 gave a 9.99 super chat. He said, "I might have said this before, but Kill Bill is a perfect example of a female protagonist that goes through a hero's journey. She's not handed everything." I will I will say this. I agree with you, the Dead Man. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but if I have to be honest, and I'll tell you all a secret here, I like Tarantino, and I like his movies just fine. I like some of them. I like very much. Kill Bill for me is one that a lot of people always get excited about, and I'm not. I'm not as excited about Kill Bill. I don't know why I'm not as excited. Like, I thought it was a very artistic movie, and I enjoyed watching it when it came out, but I never really felt like watching it again. I just feel like, I don't know. It's not up there
Yeah,
for me.
yeah,
When I think of like Pulp Fiction, when I think of Reservoir Dogs, to me, Kill Bill is not in that league.
same. Yeah. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the film. I'm glad I watched it. I enjoyed a lot of the nods to classic Hong Kong cinema and all that stuff in there. It was fine. It was enjoyable. I liked it. But yeah, it's not one that I'm like, peak. Got to watch that one again like every year kind of thing. Like I've seen it twice. I've seen both movies twice. And yeah, it's not one that I want to revisit a lot. Like
No,
you
I
said,
don't
something
usually.
like honestly, Pulp Fiction. Not one that I watch a lot, frequently, but I've seen it several times. Really enjoy it. Reservoir Dogs, fantastic film. I love that movie. It's probably one of my favorites of his work. Yeah, it's Reservoir Dogs.
Uh, Wait a second. I'm so
Mm-hmm.
curious. Hold on one second.
Mm-hmm.
There was something interesting that happened, but I don't understand it.
Something happened.
Uh, in any case, what was I going to say?
Oh,
That somebody was making a comment about our stream online.
oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Something strange is happening to our stream. Really strange. Are you there, Professor?
I'm here.
I mean, I feel like we've said something bad or done something bad.
Okay.
I'm sure we're annoying and that some people like to jump ship in the middle of our stream, but we kind of like within the course of 1 second lost about like 2/3 of our audience in like the craziest thing. Just blink and they were gone. That's happened before, and then there was like a bounce back. But usually, from my experience, when that happens, that's a weird YouTube thing. See, now it's climbing back up. I don't really know. We've had this. What were we talking about? I said I didn't like Kill Bill. I love Kill Bill. It's great. I said I didn't like it. It's wonderful. It's great. Let's see those numbers go back up. Oh, it already went. It's working. Kill Bill's the best movie ever made, Professor. It's the best. It was so
Who
weird.
doesn't love Kill Bill?
Who doesn't love it? It's the best, like out of all his movies. What I will say, I liked. It's climbing again. Good, good. I don't know what happened. That was so weird. Like again, when you do streams on YouTube, there's a lot of stuff that can happen. You can have like 5 people come, five people go. It goes up 5, it goes up 10, it goes whatever. We were sitting at around like 75, and from 1 second to another, went from 75 to 35, and that usually is considered a pretty significant jump. Now it like after I said that I loved Kill Bill, it went to 55. So now it's 58. I'm gonna say it again. It's the best Kill Bill. I love it. I liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Oh no, we're gonna drop now.
Oh no.
We're gonna lose everybody.
That's okay. Melvin's not listening.
Somebody says it's probably a power outage somewhere. It could be something really fishy. It was, I mean, I guess if there's like an island where all the chuds sit, and they had like a power outage, I guess that's why our thing fell.
I'll tell you what
And
it was, Price.
what was it?
It was the Manosphere.
The Manosphere, that's for sure.
Yep.
So, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I did like it. I did like that. I did like that movie.
Yeah.
That's one that I liked more than Kill Bill. I don't know why I liked it more than Kill Bill, but I liked it more. I liked I liked Reservoir Dogs more. I liked Pulp Fiction more. I like Jackie Brown more. Some people don't like Jackie Brown. I like Jackie Brown.
Yeah. No, I like Jackie Brown too. Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's falling again, Professor.
Yeah.
I love Kill Bill. Kill Bill's the best. I think if I don't say Kill Bill's the best, we're losing our audience. I don't know why.
Vex showed up in the chat, and then everything starts going haywire. I don't know what that's all about. But
she did?
You know. Yeah. She says just in time to fall asleep. Yeah. That's what
there it is. Price of Reason hates women. Thank you, Vex. It's so weird. Because I'll tell you why. Somebody was talking about us. I don't know who this person is or why they were talking about us. But let me share this screen. So somebody says, "Oh crap, been listening to this the whole time." Now, it was in response to somebody else who deleted their tweet. So I don't know what conversation could somebody have with another person that the answer would be, "Oh crap, been listening to this the whole time." I'm so curious as to what led. Out of all the deleted posts that could have ever been, I wish I knew more about this. And I think it's a guy that doesn't like it. Then somebody here says, "How is it? Much better, but don't tell the boys." I don't know who is this person? What does he do?
I couldn't tell you.
Let's see. I'm almost afraid to see what this person's timeline is. I'm going to leave it alone. I don't know what it is. I don't know what these people are talking about. I can't tell if they're chuds that listen to us and are happy, or they're the opposite. They hate chuds and they listen to us and they're unhappy. Not that I even think I'm a chud, but you know what I'm saying. So I don't know what all of it means. Chud Island, yeah. I do feel like I did like this. Make of that what you will. I did rather enjoy this thumbnail. I think this is a pretty good thumbnail.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to tell you, they have this movie coming out, Young Washington. Okay, and I want to tell you something. This is the second movie ever that Angel Studios has not sent me an invite to watch. Now, people earlier I was telling this to Erwin and Badger, and like, "Oh, you're like the Access Media." I'm not the Access Media, and just so you know, whenever they've shared stuff with me in the past, I didn't automatically just say it's the best thing ever. I was very happy to explain things that had flaws in it. A lot of times I would respect the effort because, sometimes they'd have a low budget to make a movie and they're still trying to make that movie and trying to do something with like a positive message. I liked the idea of what they were doing, where they were going. I didn't blindly just give them good grades. Not at all. It's just like, I looked at the good and the bad. I also evaluated that in a lot of cases they didn't have a lot of money. And I was happy. And I thought, foolishly, I thought that they appreciated my honesty, Professor. I thought that they said to themselves, "This is a man of integrity. That's why we're going to continue to give him the option to watch our movies in advance so he can talk about them on streams or whatever it is." Have not heard from Animal Farm. It's like they had a shift there and they're like, "This Price of Reason guy, never talk to him again. Like, never send him anything, never talk to him. Don't send him anything to watch. Don't encourage him. Say nothing to this man. Like, never speak to this person again." That's Animal Farm, and now you have this Young Washington. Does that mean this Young Washington is going to be a bad movie? I don't know.
Couldn't tell you. I've heard a few people have said they're interested in going to see this. Some of the advertising for it has been amusing. You've seen the ads.
At the end of the day, I was like a good sport. You know what I mean? Like I don't consider myself a shill. If I go to see a movie and it would have been like an utter disaster, I really think that had they sent me an invite to Animal Farm and I would have watched it, it probably would not have gotten a good review out of me. So I can understand maybe why they skipped that one. But Washington, that would be one that I think that, seems to be something that maybe would interest me. Well, why not share it? I'm out of their good graces, Professor. They're no fans of the Price of Reason anymore. All I can say is that I get no emails because in the past they'd be like, "Oh, Price, do you want to look at the screen or whatever it is?" They'd send me the thing, and I told them I'm going to give my honest opinion. Yes, we'd love to hear it, and blah blah blah. Everybody's super nice. Nobody's nice to me anymore, Professor.
Well, you didn't take their money and give them a shill review on something.
They
So
didn't even offer me the money.
yeah.
First of all, I wouldn't have taken it. Listen, for Animal Farm, if they would have said the only way for Animal Farm, I would have said it was good if like they come out with like 100 grand. I really like everybody here. If I was the type of YouTuber that's making like millions a year and they offered 100 grand, I probably wouldn't take it if I didn't like the movie. But I'm saying right now is price of reason. If somebody offered me like 100 grand to say that I liked Animal Farm, it would be tough to turn it down. You know what I mean? Maybe I do the thing where like kind of I signal to you that I'm kind of like I'm being paid off. Like we would wink to each other in a way that everybody would know that this is what's going on. But yeah, I try to find a balance where people know that I had to say it, but at the same time I would still take it. Unfortunately, but again, let me say this before everybody gets upset. If they called me and they said, "Hey, we'll give you like 2 grand," I wouldn't take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'll tell you why I wouldn't do it for 2 grand. Because for 2 grand, it's not. It's like I just some money. If somebody's like, here's 500, here's 1,000, here's 2,000, which for me is big money. I'm not like some big YouTuber, so for me that's big money. But if somebody offered me that, I wouldn't want it because I think that like I really don't want to damage my reputation or things like that. I wouldn't take it to say that I liked it. If somebody like walked up to me and he's like, here's like 50 grand, then it becomes a little more difficult. But again, they wouldn't pay me 50 grand because I don't have anything that would. If I was the type of guy that made $1 million, maybe they'd offer me 50 grand. But because I don't, then they don't have any reason to. Do you get what I'm saying?
I got you.
This is a
Yep.
very theoretical
Why would they?
scenario.
Why would they spend that kind of money? Yeah.
Putin 3 says if I was paid off, I would watch it and find the positive and ignore the negative. Yeah, again, for my $100 grand opinion, I like it. What's the point of reviewing anything if you're not telling the truth? I do tell the truth. Every review that I've said to date, I've stood behind my review 100%. Like I think that I've been very very nice. When it came to Angel Studios, I will say that like for example, they had a movie. It was called. Ah man, was it called The Switch? I don't remember now. I have to look what it's called. And it had sort of a biblical story, but in a science fiction kind of wrapper. And they had maybe a few $1 million to make the movie. It was like with Sean Astin and Neil McDonough. It was obviously a movie that they tried to make like this sci-fi movie, and they didn't have anywhere near enough money to do it. But I appreciated the effort of what they were trying to do. And when I said my review, I said this movie has issues. It's not like it's not flawless. It has issues. It has problems. And I still said that I appreciated the fact that with so little money, they're like, we're going to make this sci-fi movie. We want to, try to crowdfund and do our own thing. Like, you get a lot of goodwill from me when you're trying to do something for a few $1 million that you've gathered some money and trying to do something that you think will be of interest to the people that support you, what you do. I like this whole approach. And I love their approach. I even like the concept. I just thought that the execution was nowhere near as good as it needed to be. And I said all of that in my review. I was very fair about it. But I also said I appreciate it's not a lot of money. They did the best they could here, and I appreciate the effort, if nothing else. So I think I was fair. I didn't just blindly say, "Oh, it's the best." I didn't angry Joe this. You know what I mean? I didn't say, "Oh, you got to take care of your boy. Go see this, yo." Like I didn't say anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to
Yep.
know what these people were talking about in the Twitter. Like, who are these people? What do you mean?
Oh,
Oh
they
crap! I've
deleted
been
it. I
listening to
don't
this the whole
know.
time.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's I get so many weird comments sometimes. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like I said, last week I was on a stream and then saw a few people left. Sometimes I see good comments, sometimes bad, but I guess that's the way it is. I think that at some point you have to acknowledge that there will be people that'll say something nice about you, and there will be people that'll say awful things about you, and it is what it is. There's not much I can do. Big Sir River
Yep.
says, "I like you guys. That's why I'm here." I'm just wondering why. Why is it crap that he's listening to us? This guy, this Arthur guy. Like, what was he supposed to be doing if it's not? Let's see what he says. He's called Arthur Kuntler, and he says, "Just an account to read what a bunch of angry dudes, wastoids, losers, true villains, dirtbags, twists, and some archaeologists, scientists are tweeting." I don't get it, Professor. I don't understand
you
this,
just
man.
leave a comment and tell him you hope you enjoy the stream. Hope you're enjoying the stream.
Happy to hear you're enjoying the stream.
he's listening in right now.
That's it. That's it, Arthur. Arthur, I did it.
Oh, too much. Too good.
I don't know. He probably hates us. I don't even know. Like,
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
No idea.
So yeah, we did it.
We did.
Let's see. And I still want to know what he was responding to. Why can't I see this other tweet?
Oh, I don't know.
Why was it deleted? What were they deleting, Professor? Anyhow.
It's a mystery. The Manosphere did it.
The Manosphere. Oh, the Manosphere, by the way. I think there was an article that I wanted to show you. Supergirl, let's see. Manosphere. And so some guy called John Pavlovitz says Supergirl didn't fall. She burned up entering the Manosphere. How toxic content creators have ruined comic movie fandom. Oh, come on. And I think I looked at this guy's Twitter and he was just saying a bunch of nonsense. Look, they posted all the they posted all of Gary's thumbs. I don't know why. It's funny that they post like Gary's thumbnails and like as I see as a thumbnail here. It's kind of funny. Let's see. So
oh, Price, I think there was a YouTube hiccup. I was just rearranging all my windows and I looked and my my YouTube was just stuck. It said it was live, but it was just stuck. During an earlier part of the show. So I bet that's what would be how all those viewers drop out.
I think that's what happened.
There was a little YouTube hiccup.
Listen, I'm going to say this again. It's not, views fluctuate. You do a show and it's for a few hours, and sometimes there's more viewers, there's less viewers, and you know that. You know what I mean? It could still go up, it could still go down, and a lot of things can happen. But when you're watching and maybe 60% of your audience from 1 second, just like with a flick of 1 second just on the clock, 60% of your audience has disappeared. Usually it means there's some kind of technical glitch. Unless a lot of people loved Kill Bill and that was the final straw, but I don't think that.
Well, who doesn't love Kill Bill, Price? It's an amazing film.
It's an amazing.
Yes.
It's an amazing achievement.
Two films actually.
Two films. And to be honest, I do like Kill Bill. It's just that if I look at some of his other movies, it doesn't rank at the top of the list for me, even though some people are always raving about it. Yes, I think he did good with a female protagonist, all that stuff. It's all fine. It's just not my favorite movie of his. I don't know why. It is what it is. In any case, Jackie Brown had a female, you could say a female protagonist, and I like that movie just fine. I didn't like Kill Bill as much. I don't know. In any case, back to this thing here. Let me see, like, they're of course he's whining and whining, but then he's talking about specifically YouTube accounts such as Nerdrotic Daily. He doesn't even understand the Nerdrotic. He was looking at like the smaller Nerdrotic channel. He didn't even realize that there's like the main Nerdrotic channel, but Nerdrotic Daily and Geeks and Gamers. This just shows like how this guy doesn't even understand what he's covering. Do you get what I mean? Like this mild thing may seem to you like minor, but yes, I mean, let's say if they were reporting, and I'm obviously not on the radar of something like this, but if they were reporting on Price of Reason, it would be the equivalent of them saying, well, Price of Reason live, but in fact, like, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, rather than Price of Reason, they'd say Price of Reason live. It's obvious that, like, they're not, The fact that they're going for his like third channel Nerdrotic and not the first one is just strange. Geeks and gamers whose stable of mortally insecure, insufferable rules have been among the most ruthlessly attacking the actress in an effort to grow their already massive viewership among other easily lured young men weaned on conservative, exclusive, and toxic masculinity. What a bunch of nonsense. Then, of course, there are the legions of perpetually lathered up, zealous Zack. He couldn't even write Zack. I don't think he writes Zack Snyder like this. Isn't it Zack with a K? Am I wrong now? I thought it was Zack Snyder with a. Yeah, he didn't even write Zack Snyder. This guy is such a hack. Didn't even write like
with a K. Yeah.
Didn't write the right channel for Neurotic. Didn't write the thing. This is just such a guy that it's almost looks like AI wrote this article.
I was going to say it may not be a guy.
Yeah,
it might be an AI.
Could be an AI at this point. We've been sitting, blah, 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 who wanted desperately the CDCU to fail so they can work themselves into a public frenzy to restore their beloved auteur to the lofty place they believe that he alone deserves. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. But first of all, if nothing else, you could hate Zack Snyder and hate the people that like him, but I will still say that it looks like he has a larger group of people asking for his return than people that like Gunn. You know what I mean? Like, I still think that he has more of an audience of some people that like him. Some would argue, oh, you think it's big, it's not as big as you think. Whatever, yes or no, I know one thing. He does have some people that rally behind him, and usually more than what I see rally behind Gunn. Gunn, usually whatever he has seems inauthentic to me personally. It isn't easily intimidated. And I'll say another thing. And this is also a guy clearly that's using AI and doesn't know anything. He's less than a pop culture tourist, in my opinion. The thing is that the people that are annoyed of the whole Zack Snyder situation, you know, I myself am not considered like a Snyder bro or whatever you want to call it, but I've told you about a million times, and I don't feel like saying it again, that I went to all the DCEU movies and I didn't like the way it ended. You know what I mean? So yeah. James Gunn walked in, he fired everybody. He didn't need to fire Henry Cavill. He didn't need to fire Gal Gadot, but he wanted to do it anyways because he had his vision. He wanted to show that he can do this better. His thing is the best. It's even better. It's the best thing that ever happened. At the end, I said this in my review. However, I don't know, you could have felt any way you wanted about his Superman movie. Supergirl, for me, almost anything under the DCEU banner, whether Zack Snyder directed it or somebody else, even like the low points of that franchise are probably better movies than Supergirl. Meaning, like, Shazam 2 is probably like a better movie than Supergirl. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to say, like, the DCEU has its ups and downs. I would even argue I went to see that Flash movie, which was not a good movie, and I probably liked watching the Flash more than I liked Supergirl. Again, like is a strong word here. There were some movies that I saw there, you know, that were very not good movies, especially later in the game there, where there's some very problematic movies there. And I will still unironically watch them over Supergirl. Supergirl, in my opinion, was a terrible movie.
It was absolutely awful.
There was nothing redeeming about it. There was not one thing that you could say, like, somebody put a list today, like, oh, like, you know, they put Wonder Woman 1984 next to like Madam Web and next to Supergirl, implying that they're all of the same, you know, in the same category. But I would argue they're not in the same category, and I'll tell you why. Wonder Woman 1984 is not a good movie, but I still, for whatever it's worth, when I saw Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman on screen, she didn't specifically bother me. It wasn't a good screenplay. You know what I mean? Like, you could argue that the screenplay is bad. There's a lot of things you could argue there. But I thought that at least, if nothing else, a bit of a redeeming quality is that I liked her. You know, you could say, well, you're a shallow person. You liked her because she looks nice. Okay, well, that's something, you know. Still better than nothing.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It's still something, Professor. It's still better than not having that. Because in Supergirl, I have nothing to like. I don't think that she looks the part. She's not likable. The story is bad. Everything about the movie is bad. So yeah, I would prefer 1984 over the Supergirl one. Then they showed Madam Web. Now, some people made the argument, and I kind of understand it. Madam Web, for me, it didn't have the Gal Gadot. It had Sydney Sweeney in it, but they made her look bad on purpose, so that's like a wash. But it didn't have like a Gal Gadot that I like on screen, and I don't think like Dakota Johnson really like won me over. It is a very funny movie though. Madam Web manages to be an accidental comedy. I will say that when I sat alone watching Madam Web in the theater, I laughed out loud in certain parts.
Yeah, it's
So
it's more entertaining than Supergirl because it's so easy to laugh at. It's
both of those movies I would prefer to watch over Supergirl. 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, Fat Joe, yep, Bruce Timm and Pod Dini with their animations at their best. Wow, nice to see you here, Nick. Oh,
yeah. You
some
got
point-
a super chat too. Here, I'll share it real quick.
Okay, and I think we got a Rumble rant too, but let's start with this super chat. Oh, we got a few.
That's not the one. Where's it? Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, we got a couple here. So first, we got Vex Electronica, member for 6 months.
Member for
Thank
6
you,
months.
Vex Electronica.
I take credit for Vex sleeping well at night because sometimes when Vex can't sleep, she turns on the Night Owl, and then very quickly she falls asleep. So it's just the effect that my voice has on her. It's like a soothing voice, and she immediately wants to go to sleep. Not even any conversation we have can keep her awake. So there's that. But I do appreciate that she's been here a member for 6 months. And as I always mention, and some people may not know this, Vex, believe it or not, was the original co-host of the Night Owl. Most people don't know that, but she was the original co-host for, well, the first episode was just me hosting by myself, and episodes 2 of 3 of the Night Owl, Vex was the co-host. But and you know what? Whatever she may say or do, I will always appreciate that she hung out with me in those early episodes. So that's why, even though she says I put her to sleep and she may not think much of me, I still, still have some good thoughts about her. Nevertheless, then we have Nick Weiser, a friend of mine, of course. 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, and we have $2, and he says, "Sup, boys, hey boys." And hey, Nick.
Gay boys.
Nick loves to eat beefaroni. That's what I can say.
He does.
I want to send him a carton of Chef Boyardee over to his house. Nick and I, we go. It sounds weird. We go way back. We did all that Midnight's Edge After Dark stuff. Very fun times. There aren't many people that I've logged in so many hours as I have, with Nick. We spent a lot of time on a lot of streams together, and Nick's a good guy. Hard not to like Nick. I think he there was another one, right? He left another.
Yes, he says, "Hey, Price, acknowledge my prior super chat."
Oh, sorry, Nick. Here, I've acknowledged it. Hopefully, you saw it.
We were not moving fast enough for the wonderful Nick Weiser.
Nick Weiser says she may be original co-host, but does she have the size of your balls? And then she says, "I have bigger balls." She's kind of right, in the sense that for good and for bad, she will say whatever she wants. Sometimes I think that maybe it's over the top, but I do respect that she does that, and she is who she is, and she doesn't really compromise, her views or things like that, and I do respect that. In any case. Price, I got to get you back on Nick Talks Trek 2 along with Professor R2. That would be fun. I'm sure.
I saw him in the chat and I was like, "Hey, man, I need to get with you to do a Nick Talks Trek." And he was like, "Yeah, I was gonna reach out." So yeah, I will hit you up on X, Nick. We'll make sure we find a time because that will be a lot of fun. Yeah, especially talking classic Trek.
Well, in any case, and I am glad. It's nice that Vex actually stayed up a bit today, so I appreciate that she made an effort, and it's nice seeing Nick here as well. In any case, where were we, Professor? What were we talking? Oh, the manosphere, whatever it is that they were babbling about. So yeah, again, it's not that simple of like, oh, they just Zack Snyder's people like picked on him. I think that if he would have walked out and done a movie with like the cast that he had there, even without Snyder's involvement, if he would have done like, something with Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, and Ben Affleck, or just a Henry Cavill Superman movie and give it to competent people to make, he could have kept on just contractually. You still probably would have had Zack Snyder in an executive producer role, so there was a way to like still show him respect. And if he wanted to go in a creative direction that's a bit different and bring some competent people to do it, there were a lot of different formulas and ways that they could all work together to do something that I feel was more respectful towards fans. But James Gunn wanted to do the swinging dick thing. He wanted to walk in and show that he can do everything better. He's the best. And at the end, see, you can do that. You can try to do that. The problem is, there's two things that happens when you come with that approach. One is that you make a lot of enemies and you get people to get annoyed at you, which is not good. The other thing is usually you're setting yourself up for failure. You know what I mean? Even just like the karma and the energy of people is against you, you're setting that up for failure. I myself in my youth, there were a few instances that I sort of acted. I don't know if to say I acted like James Gunn exactly. That would be a stretch, but I'm saying like that maybe I was a bit overconfident and a bit like thinking, oh, I can do this, I can do that. That happens sometimes when you're young, and like maybe you're trying to do some stuff that maybe it's above what you can do, and you're overconfident, and maybe it annoys some people. I've done stuff like that again in my youth, and I could see things like that happening. But again, those are mistakes you can make when you're in your early 20s or something. When you're like, what's James Gunn? Is he like 50? 50s? What, you know what I'm saying? Like that's already not the age to
Yeah.
do the swinging dick thing. Like very late age to try to like be the cool kid, or whatever it is that he's trying to do. So I guess what I'm saying, this article, which was probably written by AI, is bullshit. Misogyny, blah blah blah. Uh, blah blah blah. Is there anything else that he says here of any relevance?
I don't think so.
Just a bunch of nonsense, just for the sake of like writing. Yeah. I suspect that people probably left messages here against this article, and in my opinion, he probably deleted them all because all the
Oh
comments
yeah.
here
Yeah,
are all like,
misogyny is on the rise. Yeah,
right, yeah, yeah,
oh, please.
from misogyny on the rise to love Mamdani and many of the socialist Democrats who have won primaries over Democrat incumbents. Very strange that this is like the people responding to this weird thing. Uh, Strange on a lot of different levels, but I'm not going to even dwell on that. I feel like this guy, not only did he use AI, I feel like I don't, I don't trust this man at all. It says, see subscribers number 5 in faith and spirituality. You're not faith and spiritual. What are you talking about? He
Oh, he's
wrote,
he's an activist pastor.
oh, he says,
Yeah.
"Phew, the fireworks and flip the flags." So he doesn't like America. He doesn't like this. He doesn't like that. Okay, I had enough of this guy.
Yes. His most recent post starts, "He is not long for this earth, and he is not long for the presidency. One day soon, nature or the Constitution will take him."
I see.
That's his most recent article on his Substack.
I understand. I get where this guy is coming from. It's
And
exactly.
his article from yesterday is "F the fireworks and flip the flags," encouraging people to fly their flags upside down on the 4th of July.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
he's an ideological nutbag. That's what he is.
Yeah, I agree. This guy, his words mean nothing to me. His article means nothing to me, and yeah,
Mhm.
I don't rate him at all. So that's that. But now that's the narrative that they're going to go with, and I knew it in advance. I knew that they were trying to do this because they always go for the same stupid playbook. Like, how many times can you continue to do this dumb thing of like, oh, these fans, these toxic this, these toxic that? Nobody ever complains about the toxic fans when you do something and people actually go watch it. Like when Deadpool and Wolverine came out, I don't remember them complaining about the toxic fans that went to see the movie. When Spider-Man No Way Home or whatever it was came out, I don't remember people, Disney doing a statement saying, we're really concerned about the chuds. You know what I mean? You know why they weren't concerned about them? Because there was nothing to be concerned about.
Yep.
When Project Hail Mary exceeded expectations at the box office and did pretty well, I don't remember Amazon coming out and saying really, really concerned about them chuds. do you got what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it can't be that only when something fails, that's the, and especially at a time where we have a guy like the Obsession guy, that Barker guy. He made a movie for $750,000 and it's already made like 350 million. I don't know, more. Like, it just keeps making more and more money. He made his movie. You know what I mean? So you can make movies that appeal to people, and if you make movies that are just like all full of activism and hold your audience in contempt and all that stuff, don't be surprised that that's the consequences.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see for a second. Nick Weiser, by the way, if you're next to your computer, I don't know where you're at, or if you're on vacation or whatever it is, let me how do I find Nick Weiser here? Did you change your icon? Toxic.
Always.
I feel like, yeah, he changed his icon. That's why I couldn't find him.
Yeah, he's toxic, Nick.
Nick, I sent you a DM, so look at it right now. So we have that.
Super chat from not super chat. Sorry, Rumble Rant. We got to get that Rumble Rant up.
Yes, where is it? We have to go back for it. Sorry, I saw it and okay.
Yeah, it's back a ways, but it's from some late guy. Yeah,
some late guy. Long Island 90. The Snyder cut of Justice League was good and had a good ending, hinting at some possible great future movies. That line, "Ready the Armada, we will do it the old way," or whatever was peak. I think it says JS. I don't really know what the JS stands for, but in any case, I will say this. I think
maybe.
Oh, just saying. I think that the reworked version of Justice League, I think, was better than the theatrical version. I will give him that. I thought that was a better movie. I still will say that I think that thing needed to be 2 movies. It sure felt very long. Maybe at the end you could afford to do it long because we were just sitting at home and watching it, whoever did. And it was certainly improvement on the Whedon version. But I still think some of this, there's 2 things that could be true at the same time. Some of this is not Zack Snyder's fault. He basically got that Man of Steel movie, which he did under Christopher Nolan, who a lot of people give a pass to, but the screenplay and a lot of things that happen there, which are part of my biggest concerns, are actually have a lot to do with Nolan himself, even though he kind of always dodges the criticism because Zack Snyder is sort of the figurehead people go to there. But he shares in that blame for sure, because I think that Chris Nolan has some kind of credit writing on the screenplay. I don't even think Zack Snyder has that in Man of Steel. So you can't ignore some of the things that are happening there, which was very much a Christopher Nolan production. In addition to that, I think that he thought he was making this one movie and maybe they let him make another Superman movie. Instead, Warner Brothers at the time wanted to catch up, quote unquote, with the MCU. Really dumb decision. They wanted to catch up with the MCU. They also wanted to take their cinematic universe and make it like clone the MCU with it. But I don't think it needed to be. Instead of doing something that makes it maybe stand out or different, whether or not Snyder's vision at the end or how he would have done it or who would have been involved in what, whether or not that would have been good or not, it's hard to say for sure, because when you think about it, they immediately told him, well, your sequel already has Batman in it. It'll be Batman versus Superman. So they were like dictating to him. And then they're like, well, now you got to do a Justice League movie. It was really them trying to like quickly rush and do this thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And we have Toxic Nick Weiser, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser joining us. Welcome.
Hey, Nick, what's going on?
Oh, can't hear you, buddy.
You're on
Might
mute.
still be
You
muted.
have to unmute.
Hello, can you hear me?
There we go.
We can hear you. This is such an honor. We're so happy you've joined us, man.
having me. So yeah, it's an honor and a privilege to join you. I know I said I was going to join you soon. Today is that night where I joined. So my time is limited. I'm going to make valuable of the time that I have. But here's the thing with the Zack Snyder, James Gunn. I have said it yesterday. The Bruce Timm, Paul Dini universe of the animated shows, Zack Snyder and James Gunn, good and bad, regardless of where you're swinging with both of them, they lace the boots, clean their laundry, make their dinner, and get their lunch money taken by Bruce Timm and Paul Dini. And I say that as an analogy, comparatively speaking, to how good and how much better Bruce Timm and Paul Dini did with their DC anime universe to James Gunn and Zack Snyder. There's things that I like from them both, regardless of where they are swinging from a director or a producer or a writer, whatever. Irrelevant. It's their universes because guilty by association. So I'm going to label them as Gunn and Snyder. They're nowhere as good on their best day as Paul Dini and Bruce Timm on their worst day. Don't blame me. Blame Zack Snyder and James Gunn because on their best day, they don't get it close. I'm sorry that James Gunn is a one-trick pony. Fuck that. I'm not lying. I'm not sorry for that. Zack Snyder. Oh, what? All because he reads Frank Miller and Alan Moore and suddenly he thinks he's a comics expert? Fuck off, you poser. Okay, guess what? As good as they can be, they are about 5% of what the comics industry is. They only represent a large portion. Hell, don't take my word for it. Take Alan Moore's position from it. He even said himself that what he did with Watchmen is not supposed to be representative of what comics are supposed to be. That's supposed to be a done in one story. That's why Alan did stories like the Superman after it, because he liked the lighthearted stories. Hell, even Dave Gibbons, the artist on the Watchmen, likes those lighthearted stories more than what he did on Watchmen because he enjoys them, because he knows that's what personifies heroism more. That's not my opinion. That's a fucking fact. So take your shit and say, oh, well, this is how they feel. I don't care about how they feel. This is about what it actually is, okay? So dismiss your shit about how you feel, because that shit doesn't fucking matter, okay? Dave Gibbons and Alan Moore agree with my stance. They may have not met me. They don't know who I am, but we share the same stance. So how you feel is irrelevant because we share the same stance about what heroism is and isn't. And what was working for Watchmen should not be representative of what storytelling is, what was to come 30 to 40, 50 years afterwards. Okay? So leave that shit at the door. They are the exception, not the expectation. James Gunn, I like what he does for some stories, but is Nick Three Sheets to the Wind. Speak English, bro. James Gunn's a one-trick pony. There are things I like what he does for certain stories, but there are certain things he does for that formula I don't like what he does in the story. Price, Professor, him and we all think I may not agree with them. They may not agree with me, but I think it's safe to say we can all agree that he is a one-trick pony, regardless of how we feel on his formula. And yes, drink is involved, Mr. Brown Alliance, but yet my English is coherent. Okay? You understand what I'm saying. You may not like what I'm saying. Hell, if you love it, even better. You may not like it, but you know what I'm saying. And my point comes across. And that is all that matters. And that is all that is relevant. And yes, this is my appearance. I am straight out of Chirac, the same way guys who were in a movie called Straight Outta Compton were straight out of Compton. Hi, Price. Hi, Professor. Great to see you guys.
Great to see you too, man.
Hey, man.
It is amazing. I don't think I've gone on a rant like that in a long time. So what you got here was a rare form Nick Weiser Mall. Very, very fun. Great
It's
to
the
see you
most
guys.
it's the most passionate I've heard you about something in years. So I was just letting you do whatever it is that you're doing, and
Just let Nick Weiser just drop the truth on us. Just slamming it down. Yeah, and I mean, come on, like what you're saying about like the hero, right? Like
Yes.
who the hero is supposed to be, and what they're supposed to represent in a film or in a comic or in a book, any story, right? With they there is something they are supposed to represent. They're supposed to be better than the rest of us. They're
Even
supposed to
Ellen
be.
and Dave agree with me
They're
on that position. They agree with me.
Yeah.
The writer and artist agree with me on that. Continue on, Professor.
Yeah, no, just they're supposed to represent a moral center, something that is greater than us, an ideal, right?
Yes.
They're not supposed to be
Yes.
a pathetic loser who's drinking themselves to death under a table and ignore. Yeah, that's Supergirl's not a hero.
No, oh God, no, and that's where I blame James Gunn for this. I know Price and Professor and I we may disagree on Superman, but with Supergirl, it seems to be one of those rare things we're in unifying an agreement. Supergirl is a radical fucking bitch. Straight up. Not, oh, did you say that, Nick? No, she is a radical bitch. I'm not taking the back. I said it and I meant it. Okay? She is a radical fucking bitch. FUCKINGBITCH with a space in between fucking and bitch. Okay? Yes, I said it and I meant it. I didn't stutter one damn word. And you base it off a Tom King story.
Oh,
and guess what? Women love stories like The Devil Wears Prada. They like Barbie. And guess what? They also like the Minions as well. You want to know how I know? Because I have two girls, one who's going to be a teenager in a few simple months, and the other who's a few years away. And they don't even give a shit about Supergirl, even when Supergirl is actual Supergirl. But you know what? They want the Minions. They love the Minions. They love yellow characters who act crazy and are on an endless sugar high. And they're like, oh, Dad, can we see that? Of course you can, girls. Dad will take you to a movie. We'll get all the popcorn with the extra butter you want. I don't care. I just love that they actually care about the medium of movies, A, and B, they care about story. My oldest joins me when we watch Star Trek. And by the way, in case you're like, what's Star Trek? The original Star Trek with Captain Kirk, by the way. And she's 12. And she wants to watch a 60-year-old show with her dad. Great. Awesome. And that's genuinely speaking. I don't obligate her. I don't force her. I tell her, hey, if you find this shit boring, if you find outdated, if the CG or the effects are too old for you, hey, just tell me, Dad, this is not my thing. I don't like it. I'm going to go do something else. Okay, fine. Okay, I get it. No, she wants to know more about it. Okay, she's a classy little lady at 12 years old, bordering on teenagehood. And Minions and Monsters, Star Trek appeals more to her than Supergirl acting like a radical bitch. Okay? Bitch! Yeah, sorry, Price and Professor. That's not my problem.
You apologize to Sean. That's who you apologize. Say sorry, Sean.
That cow, Sean? I like Sean Stecker. He's a great guy. I love Sean knows his DC.
No, it's our friend Sean. We have a friend called Sean. It's not
Sean Crummell. Sean
right.
Crummell, who's occasionally on the show, and we jokingly apologize to him for when we swear.
Oh well,
it's a tradition on the show that
just a show thing.
I live up to the toxicity. My name toxic. I came from a position of passion, like Henry Cavill likes to say, passion. Okay. I don't mean to say bitch because of bitch. I say it because of passion. Think Charlie Sheen, when he was winning, it wasn't hatred, it was passion. Okay? I'm of the same magnitude. Passion. Yeah, it is like, please let us know you're really, if Shatner's still alive. Well, see, Shatner is alive, but my 12-year-old, she thinks Shatner's cool. I didn't tell her to say, hey, Shatner's cool. she came to that conclusion on her own merits when she saw shit like Snow Brown and say, this shit sucks. Okay, don't blame me. She thought Snow Brown sucks, but she loves the Sheep Detectives. She loves Project Hail Mary. She loves stories on the genuine Olympus gods.
I was
Star
one of the
Trek.
first people online to say that Sheep Detectives was good. Not that I'm trying to toot my
Thank
own
you, by
horn.
the way, for that. No, because like before that came out in theaters, she was like, "We gotta go see that, Dad." I'm like, "Of course we will." You're telling me you want to see that? She cares about story a lot, and she does. She really does. And it was a damn great movie. When I see all these people now reacting on streaming, I was like, "You should have saw it in theaters because it made its production budget back, but not its marketing budget." And
Right, right.
so you could say maybe it didn't bomb, but in my opinion, you
T-
can maybe say it
t-
underperformed.
to be
And
fair, and I'll say this: Amazon
sure.
could have made more of an effort to push that movie.
Oh yeah,
They
I
didn't.
agree.
They didn't
They
even do
didn't
the
push it.
Project Hail Mary effort. They didn't make enough of an effort to push Sheep Detectives.
No,
I
it's
think.
because
I
they
think.
didn't know what to do with it, Price. They didn't know how do we promote. Do we promote it with producers, writers, and directors from prior films? Do we promote it on its own merits? Do we promote it as a Hugh Jack movie? It's clear they didn't know what to do with it promotion wise. And luckily, I do think, and to be fair to your argument, I think they're going to make that marketing budget on the Sheep Detectives on streaming and physical sales alone. So
Well, the thing.
ultimately, I think in
Yeah,
the long
that's
term, it will break even.
It will.
It
I'll tell
will.
you
It
why.
will because people
Amazon.
love it.
yeah, yeah.
Amazon already in advance. See the difference between Amazon and a lot of these other studios. Amazon have so much money that the thing with this video and making a movie is really like a side gig for Amazon. This is
Hmm.
not their main source of income. Their main sources of income is Amazon and all the deliveries
Oh
and all
yeah,
that stuff.
these are
So for
side projects for them. It's pet
right,
projects.
this is just some little thing they do. That's why if they think later they can get pay-per-view and then add it to their catalog as an exclusive, that like it's worth it to get Prime, and
Yes.
it kind of raises the profile of Prime Video. They have other things in mind that a lot of other studios aren't thinking about.
Yeah.
So
No.
maybe for
Thank
them,
you.
it's not a huge loss. I recently saw a movie which I've told people about, and I think that I'm the only person that saw it. That's called Power Ballad. It was a movie that I expected
Oh,
nothing
I want
from.
to see that. I want
What'd
to
you say?
see that.
I saw it in the theater. There was nobody that that went to see that movie.
Hmm.
Nobody went to see it. I went to see it in the theater, and I sat there, probably with I don't know if there was one other person in the theater or anything like that.
Hmm.
I sat there and watched it. I thought it was a darn good movie. It cost about $7 million to make after rebates or something like that. It
I
was a
watched your video
small
on that.
it was a small personal story. I thought that they did a really good job, and I like it when I see people that take $7 million and make a movie that the screenplay makes sense.
Yes.
Somebody sat and
Yes.
thought of writing something. The ideas are there. One scene leads to another. One development leads to another. Something is set up and pays off later. It's like all of this is happening, and then you see one of those like 200, $300 million. You see like Supergirl, and there is no excuse. I don't care what you tell me. I don't care if you like Gunn, if you like Snyder, if you
I
like
agree.
Tim. I don't care
I
who you
agree.
like. That Supergirl movie is a piece of shit. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
a rare unifying agreement, Price. To be fair to art, it's a rare unifying agreement. It's a rare unifying. Even people who stick up for Gun, even people who stick up for women, it seems like one of those things where everyone agrees on that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And the thing is that I will also say that this thing, as much as I know some people were kind of covering for Gunn after that Superman movie, there were people that told me, and even people that I like, that said, "Hey, don't take it too seriously with evil Jor-El and the message of conquering the earth with the harem and all that." But the reason I was told that is because some people seem to think that it would end up being Brainiac that engineered this whole idea. But when you see Superman and her parents are saying that Jor-El sent his son to conquer Earth, that basically solidifies that this is not Brainiac. This is the real deal. They
Mhm.
actually meant it. They
Oh
did what they
yeah,
meant.
yeah. No, they solidified their thoughts. They had a moment to backtrack it. They had a moment to say, hey, should we reevaluate this? Because let's be fair here. In X-Men continuity of the Foxman universe, they did reevaluate their situation, say, oh, hey, we made this bad decision. We can do something to change that. And they did with the continuity of where things were coming from. I appreciate them for doing that. You can say whether they succeed or not. Okay, fine. Fair argument, regardless of how we feel on the movies. Once again, feelings are irrelevant. But the fact that they are trying to at least make things right, okay, great. Whether they succeed in, whole other argument. But this one, they're like, no, we are committing to this. And that's what makes it worse. Is the fact that they say, oh no, we're going all in on this decision we made. They had a chance to walk it back because I think, regardless of how people feel about the Superman movie of 2025, some people can see why, okay, I can see why some would interpret it, misinterpret it. Okay, great. And no, I'm not sauce. Miss me with your slang. I am not drunk. I wish I was, but
No,
comic
Nick's a
people
quirky
don't have
guy,
it.
and Nick, by the way, is an old
Bryce
friend of
knows
mine.
how. Bryce would know when I'm drunk. He will attest if I'm actually drunk.
Nick can do whatever he wants on this stream. He's Nick, and that's the courtesy he gets from me. He is a quirky guy, anyways. But if he did drink, I don't care. And if he didn't, that's fine too.
Oh, I'm drinking, but this is not me drunk. So continuing on about this stuff.
What I wanted to say is that I actually read the Tom King Supergirl comic, and I thought about you because I didn't like the comic. I thought it was a shitty comic to begin with.
Terrible! It's terrible!
It's terrible. This just shows, with all the Gunn glazer, I'll say this: Gunn wanting to adapt this thing is a dumb idea. Gunn then taking a woman who's never written a feature film before and saying, you're going to write the screenplay, dumb idea. It turned out that the lady that he told her to write the screenplay read the comic, didn't understand the comic. The comic isn't good, but she didn't even understand it. She apparently, she didn't realize that at the end, Ruthie doesn't kill Krem. So she said, well, I had to make Supergirl kill him at the end because otherwise the comic said that Ruthie killed him. And that's not even what the comic says. It's basically, it's like you're being put in charge of a $200 million production. You don't even know how to read a comic book. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't read that comic book, lady, you shouldn't even be here. You shouldn't be in the room. You shouldn't have anything to do with it. One has to wonder why Gunn would hire her. Also, Gunn, with all of his bullshit, I'll never approve a script that's not good. He didn't realize that this lady doesn't even understand what the comic book says. Why did he hire her to begin with? Why isn't there no quality control? He just said, okay, do whatever script. I'm not going to read it. Is that what you're trying to tell me? So if not, it means that James Gunn didn't understand the comic, or he's just a weirdo.
Price, to add to your point, I fault James Gunn because here's the thing. I have followed James Gunn closely for a long time, and he has been instrumental in some really good comic runs. But I'm also a believer in two things can be true. And just because he recommended good things doesn't mean he's not capable of recommending bad things. He recommended a great run of the Guardians of the Galaxy comic by Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning. It's essential. Straight up great reason. I love that series of comic. It's a great comic books from the late 2000s before the 2010s. So good. Dan Abnett, Andy Lanning, Guardians of the Galaxy. That's where that lineup that you see from the movies came from, that idea. Because before the Dan Abnett, Andy Lanning comic run, that lineup was not a thing. Not a thing. So he can get good ideas. That's the craziest part. He's one of those weird anomalies where he is good at getting the best of things, but also simultaneously guilty of getting the worst of things at the same time. It's one of those guys. He kind of reminds me of Kevin Smith Price in a sense where to him, there's no such thing as a bad story. It's like, okay, because there's no such thing as a bad story to him, he'll take the good and also accept the bad. And Big Sur said, Nick dresses like my friends in the late 80s. Respect to you, sir. All right? Respect to you. Take it away, Price of Reason.
Well, what I was going to say is that I think, and I've said this before, but now that you're here, I can say it. I wish I don't know where he is now, and I probably couldn't find him now. But my friend Nick, the backyard TARDIS, he basically doesn't like the Guardians of the Galaxy films because he feels like he read the comics and James Gunn disrespected the source material. And I always say this to people that because Guardians of the Galaxy was something that most people didn't read, I had never read one comic book. I didn't know anything about them. So when I saw the movie, I'm like, oh, they must be, this is probably what they're like in the comics. But actually, they're not like that in the
No,
comics. So
no.
with Guardians of the Galaxy, he could get away with it because it was an obscure comic that most people didn't read and or didn't give a shit about. Whereas when you do Superman, you can't say now Superman is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. Now
Yes.
Supergirl is going to be Star
Yes.
Lord. You can't do
Yeah.
that. It
I
doesn't
agree.
fit.
I
And that
agree.
shows he's a one trick pony. He doesn't know how
Yes.
to do anything beyond that. Maybe whatever he did was good, but you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again. He is
He
very
were
much just a one trick pony.
No, you're right. I agree with you on that. Regardless of where you and I stand on Superman 2025, he's one of those guys where I appreciate a certain thing from him, but it works to a point, and that point has a limit to it. He's the type of guy where if I saw some original things from him, I probably would like it under the James Gunn formula. But if he were to do what he does with, let's just say, for a point of conversation, Silver Surfer, I would hate it because it would not be a Silver Surfer movie. It would be a Silver Surfer and Friends movie with comedy that does not line up with the quirkiness of a character like not Silver Surfer, because Silver Surfer is not quirky. Would you work with a character, let's just say like Booster Gold? Yeah, sure. But even then, if you're not doing Booster Gold, it's like, okay, hey, that weirdness works for Booster Gold. And Skeets, his little droid that comes around Booster Gold. But you can't do that with a Dead Man. You can't do that with a Zatanna. Those are DC obscure characters for the tourists in the back. You can't do that with a Deathlock. You can't do that with a Ghost Rider if I want to go more mainstream. You can't do those formats. This is a certain things work for certain characters. The problem is this is a not just a James Gunn problem. This is a company problem. And there's a connection there. I don't know if you've made a price, but I'll make that connection if you haven't. Warner Brothers saw what worked with James Gunn and thought this can work for a one size fits all. And the problem is that works to a point, but it doesn't
They
work
they,
to
they
an extent
foolishly
to fully. It works for certain things. And they did the same shit with Zack Snyder. It's like, oh, it worked for Batman. Therefore, it can work for all characters.
the,
No, Warner Brothers, it doesn't work for every character. It works
the,
for Batman
the,
for a reason.
the
Just because it
problem
worked for Batman doesn't mean it should translate to every character.
the
There's a reason these things work. But take it away, Price. You're ready
what
to
I was
talk.
going to
Let's
say
go.
is that I think that the main thing they wanted was at a time that there was so much uncertainty with their brand, they thought to themselves, well, James Gunn, some people see him as like at least partially responsible for some of the successes that the MCU had. And I'm not going to take
Mhm.
away the fact that Guardians did well for them. And also apparently he gave some advice on the, Infinity Saga behind the scenes, had some maybe advice for Kevin Feige. So they saw him as one of the guys that's like one of Feige's guys, which ran into that problem with the tweets, and they saw this as an opportunity of taking away somebody that maybe is good on Feige's team, promoting him and giving him like a more central role at their company. But what I've noticed, and this is kind of I hate to say it, a Kathleen Kennedy type of scenario, in a way, not exactly, not a one-to-one, but the problem is sometimes you have somebody who's either second, third, or fourth fiddle. Kathleen Kennedy was like the fourth fiddle on Steven Spielberg Productions. So you think to yourself, oh, well, she was fourth fiddle here. If she was first fiddle, she'd probably be great. And the answer is no, she wouldn't be great. And I think that Gunn also is the type of guy, he's good as being second, third fiddle on a team where he maybe can pitch some quirky ideas, but he's not a ringleader in my opinion. He's not like the guy that grabs the reins, has the vision, and knows what he's doing. That's why everything that we've gotten, even when he announced all of his stuff, it's like Booster Gold, Creature Commando, Supergirl, all this weird Tom King, all this weird shit. Like it seems like he has quirky things that he likes, but he's not in touch with what might do well with audiences, and he doesn't seem to really want to connect with these heroes and why they're even heroic, or try to understand why they're heroic.
I actually agree with every single thing you said. And this once again comes from a fan who likes some of what he's done and absolutely dislikes what he's done. And this is a Hollywood problem and a James Gunn problem. James Gunn is a one-trick pony. But it's also Hollywood's fault, not James Gunn's fault. It's Hollywood's fault because they saw that and thought, if we do this for every movie, it will automatically work. That's not James Gunn's fault. As stupid and good as it may be, it's Hollywood's fault for making that translation because they do that with things all the time. They did that with the Dark Knight trilogy. They're like, oh, hey, look, this worked with the Dark Knight trilogy. Therefore, we can do it with every character. That's a Warner Brothers, aka Studios problem. So I'm not going to fault James Gunn. I will fault James Gunn, though, for his one-trick ponyism of making everything an ensemble team with his slapstick humor and the fact that he will not let a moment be a moment, which is like, okay, yeah, those are...
No, because he's a weirdo. He's a quirky weirdo, and he doesn't understand what that moment means. He doesn't build that
No,
kind
he
of
doesn't.
emotion. And because he doesn't build the story, the characters, and he doesn't build emotion, all he can do is fall back on a bunch of group of ragtag weirdos there that maybe
Yes.
make you laugh. But it doesn't have to be in every movie. It certainly
No.
didn't need to be in Superman or Supergirl. But I wanted to ask you something else, which,
Sure.
if you're already here, we don't have to spoil every detail. But over
Spoiled.
the past few days, there's been Avengers Doomsday. Basically, an overall plot has been leaked online,
I read it. All of
and
it.
and apparently, based on, I heard Chris Gore saying this, and a few people that actually know people on the production have pretty much confirmed that whatever that, at least as of now, whatever that plot leak is, seems to go hand in hand with what they know the movie is at the moment. So what I wanted to say is, and I'll be very general because I don't want to ruin everything, even though I don't feel like I'm ruining much, but I don't want to ruin in any case. What I can tell is, and this just what I could tell is, they're trying to fix the problem. They're trying to find a way to fix all the mess that they made, but their fix is so convoluted and stupid that I don't know if that movie is going to work. Nick, what do you think?
Okay, so before we continue about Doomsday,
Wait, I want to say here. I want to say that there's spoilers or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, no, it's good to add that qualifier
Yeah,
to
let
that.
me add a
Yeah, you
banner.
should. I
Let's
see
see.
some people, and I'm gonna make this all tie together. Okay, I'm gonna make this all tie together. Price. By the way, thanks for having me, man. Good to see you again. I love Booster Gold. I'm a fan of Booster Gold. And I mean, I'm a fan, not just a normie. I have Booster Gold comic book single issues of this character. I'm a fanboy. It's not Marvel. Yes, it's DC. I'm a fan. Could James Gunn be a qualifying guy for that? Maybe. But once again, this comes back to the context. And Marvel and DC, aka their studios, don't want to consider context. They just want a one size fits all and hope that people will dick ride those coattails. To be fair, Booster Gold can work to some of those things because Booster Gold has Skeets, has his talking robot. Okay, great. However, Marvel, aka Disney, on the other hand, they want the same format too, which is really ironic because a lot of these big studios always say how they're being innovative and they're pushing the boundaries, and they're not. None of them actually are. I don't resent them for that. It's just I hate that they say that they're pushing the boundaries because none of them are not. Because they're all just doing what their competitors are ultimately doing. If you're doing what your competitors are ultimately doing, okay, fine. Do what your competitors are doing. Maybe do it better. Okay, fine. Do it better. But don't say that you're being innovative because you're being many things. But innovative is not one of them. You're being imitative, sure. I
He
say it myself. I
he
innovate to a point, but I also imitate to a point. That's your most intelligent thought you'll get to
James
me.
Gunn mainly imitates himself. He had one thing
Oh,
that he innovated, and then
yes,
he couldn't
yes,
innovate anymore, so he's doing like diminished versions, carbon copies of his own work. But I wanted to
yes.
say, NMNM says Price seems to get really worked up about when the talk is about Supergirl, Superman.
That's
Good for
fine.
him. The
There's
reason
nothing
why, and I'll
wrong
tell you
with
this:
that.
as a kid, I loved the Christopher Reeve movies, and I even enjoyed. I saw Supergirl in the theater, and I know it's not the best movie, but if nothing else, I liked Helen Slater as Supergirl, and I bought into that character. I even initially, when there was that show on CBS that then went to CW, I watched
Mhm.
early on from that first season. I didn't mind everything that went on there. Obviously, it's a TV show and it wasn't spectacular. Once it went to the CW, it fell off a cliff. But I will say this: I did have a certain fondness towards that character, and
Mhm.
this idea of giving everybody the middle finger and making her whatever James Gunn did in this last Supergirl movie is just annoying. And I don't like what he did with Superman either. Some people
No.
were more forgiving. I don't like a Superman that walks around and the people around him, when he walks into the room, it doesn't feel like they respect him. It feels like he's the butt of everybody's jokes. That doesn't work for me. Christopher Reeve, every scene, even in Superman 4, which is not a good movie, every scene that he walks in, the character of Superman commands the screen. He's respected. Even if people like him or don't like him, there's this kind of aura of respect. In this thing, they
Mhm.
made him like, and I've said this a number of times. I really like the sentence that Disparu said that basically he acts, when he's Superman, he acts like Clark Kent. And that's what I don't like about James Gunn's Superman. He doesn't feel like that kind of noble guy that has that kind of confidence and this kind of commanding respect. I just don't feel it. He's like,
Okay.
they even
Okay.
hear Supergirl's like, oh, he's a stupid nerd. He's a stupid nerd. Like everybody's like making fun of him. It doesn't feel right to me. I need to see a Superman that feels like a hero, and I don't need a bunch of people around him to keep saving him or make him look good. I just want to see a movie that really focuses on that character and gives me something to work with. And I feel like James Gunn, he did a cop out with Superman. He went for his Guardians of the Superman, and then with the Supergirl, he made even worse. At least the Guardians of the Superman, it was mildly watchable, even though I didn't enjoy it. With Supergirl, Guardians of the Furiosa, or whatever he did with her, it wasn't even watchable. It wasn't even a watchable movie.
Mhm.
So that's why I get so worked up about it. But now we're here in Avengers Doomsday.
Doomsday. I
Apparently,
read this. I talked about this price to capitalize off what you're saying. And I looked at this, I went through it twice, and I thought to myself over the period of half a day, I thought to myself, okay, don't react to this immediately. Because when you do it, you come off instantly emotional, re- insanely reactionary.
I
I
think you
need to
should
think
drink
about
another beer and
this.
tell us what you think, Nick.
Yeah, right. No, no, I could drink more alcohol right now. And I
I'm
thought,
just kidding.
okay,
I'm just say
let
whatever you
this
think, Nick. You could say it. It's okay.
I let this simmer with me. And I thought about this throughout the day. And it's clear that they're going off the 2015 version of the story titled Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Because yes, you're for those in the chat who are normies, there are a few comic book events called
Yes.
Secret Wars.
Yep.
There's the 1980s, there was the one titled Secret Wars 2, and then there was the 2015 version. This is based loosely, emphasis on loosely, based on the 2015 version with the incursions and the multiverse concept, Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four being involved. Okay, so that's where they are at with the concept of the 2015 Secret Wars. How they go about it is more or less a different story. And how they come to that conclusion is a different story. But there are loose concepts that tie into that. I've read this and I thought to myself, I had heard something a while back about Tobey Maguire being killed by Doctor Doom, and I hear about this. I'm like, I don't know if this is worse or better. I would need to actually see this play out in execution in order to judge the Tobey Maguire death. But it seems like, regardless of how we feel about it, whether it's Doctor Doom or Deadpool and Wolverine, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is going to die in this movie, regardless of who it comes from. Now, as far as everything else, the Fantastic Four, tying into Thor, his father Odin, Loki season 2, it seems like this movie is all sorts of ass fucked with lube not included.
Let's
No,
go. Let's go over.
Yeah. So yeah,
Let's go over
I-
it, Nick. Let's go over what it says, just so we
I
can.
just realized a moment ago that my microphone has not been working. So
Oh, where's Nick? Where did he go?
Nick disappeared. Well, we'll see if Nick
Is
pops back
Mr.
up
Brown
here in a sec.
Alliance here? Is Mr. Brown Alliance with us here right now?
I think so.
I don't hear him saying anything, but I feel like I see him in the.
I'm right here. I'm turning my camera
Mr.
off.
Brown, you have to turn on your microphone if you feel like it, and then I see you don't have like OBS, so
That's
I would
fine.
put a picture of you here if
I
you want to
put-
join us.
It seems like if I want to turn my camera off, it will shut me out immediately, and I don't like that because.
Well, we can still hear you if you
you
do
hear
if you're
me?
off the screen.
All right, hold on.
We can still hear you if you're off
Can
screen.
you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
We can still hear you.
So, Professor, you want to dive into this thing while I try to
yeah,
work
yeah.
out this
So
Mr.
yeah,
Brown
what
thing?
I was having some issues here. So one thing I was trying to say earlier, and I didn't realize like my audio interface had just like crashed and wasn't working, so you guys couldn't hear me. I was talking. You guys were talking about James Gunn, and I was going to say, to me, this is what happens with James Gunn. And what I think has been happening with him is this. He is like a musician who had a hit, and then the only thing they can think to do is to keep rewriting that hit. Right? It's the only move they have going forward. They try to write other stuff. They try to write other music, but there's nothing that works for them. There's nothing that gets the attention like just rewriting, kind of reusing the same ideas, the same music, the same everything from that first hit. And he's just doing that over and over and over. And every time they do that, it loses impact. It's not any, you can't recapture that magic from that hit. And so yeah, that's what he's doing with these films. They're just all just repeats and remakes of the same thing. It's yeah.
What makes you, Professor? Is it a James Gunn thing where he's being told to write the same song and dance over and over? Or is this all James Gunn is capable of? And what it is, I don't know, because we have not seen what happens when James Gunn tries to, let's just say, do something off script. We don't know what that's like because we don't have the information or the data to verify that. Now, could we have that indirectly because of what we've seen? Maybe, sure, but we don't know that officially. So we're going off of assumptions, feelings, speculations. And if we had to go off of that just because of what we have, then yes, James Gunn is a one-trick pony. I
want to quickly, before you continue, Mr.
whether-
Brown, if you're
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, we can hear you.
we can hear you. Yeah, you're here.
Morning.
Yep.
Wow, what a interesting occasion. What a blast. We
Popping
have
my
both
cherry.
Nick Weiser and Mr. Brown here. Talk about like a interesting assembling of good friends of ours here late at night. Really great. How's it going, Mr.
7
Brown?
a.m. 7 a.m.
He's in England, for those who
7
don't know.
a.m. Not late night, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
late
sorry,
night here,
late.
early morning for you. Yeah.
Hey, getting up at 7 a.m. is also a big deal.
Welcome to derailing the flow.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, it's fine.
It's all just kind of going with the flow here on the Night Owl.
See, as
That's
a YouTuber, I know when to arrive, as it were, ebb and flow and all that. You can spoil the flow if you just appear, if you know what I mean.
and I'm going to make room for everybody because also Nick is here, and he seemed to have turned off his camera. So
Is
And that's fine.
15 centimeter rule price? I'm within 15 centimeters. Do I need to kiss you?
no, it's okay. Are we not far enough from each other?
Smooches.
Yeah.
So we were talking about this leak regarding Doomsday. Nick kind of got started there with this leak, basically saying here. So the early thing we've heard is that it starts out in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and he's fighting off Deadpool and Wolverine because they're trying to blow up his universe. And
as they would, yes.
And they succeed with this. They end up blowing up his universe with this planet-killing bomb or whatever it is, and Wolverine ends up dying with him. So Wolverine dies yet again. We get another Hugh Jackman Wolverine death in this movie, and then it jumps over to Tony's funeral in Endgame.
Hey,
where Steve, in the movies we see him, he sort of just shows up and he's old and whatever. No, and in this case, no, Steve is wandering around and he's talking to everybody, including Ant-Man and some others before he goes
total
back
retcon. That's what you're trying to say. Total retcon.
Is this multiverse stuff?
Oh my God, there's so much multiverse stuff in this.
There's so much weird multiverse stuff. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I was going to say, is that Steve out of The Wolf of Wall Street? Steve.
This is supposed to be, this is supposed to be Captain America Steve at the end after Tony's death, but where he goes back and he goes to be, live his life with Peggy. That's the happy ending that they gave him at the end of Endgame, which honestly didn't make a lot of sense, but it was fine, right? It was a happy ending for a character that everyone loved.
Happy finish for Steve being pegged by...
in the sense that he got
Nick, what were you gonna say?
Happy ending. I guess a happy ending, but go on.
Happy ending?
Steve being pegged by Peggy Carter.
Peggy.
That's an assumption, not a proof.
I'd do that. I'd take that.
Yeah, I mean, so they go and they live their life together, and they have a kid. They have a son named, according to the leaks, that it's going to be his name is Jim. And one day, Loki shows up to tell him that, you're going to love this because everyone loves the TVA from Loki, right? They're going to be a huge part of this film. They're going to be a big, at least according to the leaks, and the leaks have been by some people verified, right? They're saying that this is actually
unless they refilm and do a different movie. This looks to be the direction of what the movie really is.
And there's a few people that have been sort of confirming this. John Campea is one, not the greatest source, but he's one. But RMB has been talking about this, saying
Chris Gore, I think, confirmed it as well. Yeah,
and so they're saying, basically confirming that this is what they've heard. These are the storylines that we get. So Loki's going to show up and warn Steve that the TVA is coming to prune his universe and prune his timeline away. And so he helps spirit them away to a different universe where they're going to be safe, which happens to be the universe of the Fantastic Four. Ugh, as if we hadn't seen enough of them.
Isn't pruning universes genocide?
It would seem like it's eliminating a whole lot of people. Yes,
right, but they don't seem worried about that for some
rather
reason.
indiscriminately. In fact,
the thing is, we haven't seen enough of the actual Fantastic Four. What we have gotten is a hollow, shallow version of the Fantastic Four that is, let's just say, safe for what they consider safe for the
Fantastic Farts
of the MCU. We get a shell of what the Fantastic Four actually is, whether it's the Stanley Jack Kirby run or the John Kirby one, or even to a lesser extent the Jonathan Hickman version all flaws intended, there's still some actual F4 accuracies to that story.
I do love that Marla Sharondoff. By the way, I love that Marla Sharondoff is asking if Miss Minutes will be in it. I don't think that that's going to move the needle for the movie one way or
if
another.
if the TVA is going to be there, Miss Minutes needs to be there. Come on.
Okay,
and
so
Miss
you
Minutes
have the
voiced
lady
by
who
the
is
wonderful
what, Harley
Tara
Quinn in
Strong.
the animated series.
But I don't. Who voiced Miss Minutes?
Tara
by the way?
Strong.
Oh,
I don't think
That's
anyone
why
cares
she's
about
that's why
Miss
she's asking,
Minutes.
I
Pricey.
forgot about
People
that. Did
care
she?
about the
Wait a second. Wait a
physical form
second.
of Tara
I have to
Strong.
explain this because people don't know this. Marla Sharondoff is Tara Strong's sister. I don't know if you know this.
I do know.
Yeah.
I know now.
So Tara Strong, the voice actress, very popular voice actress, she's her sister. Tara Strong was the voice of Miss Minutes. How did I
Yes.
not?
Yes.
Price, Tara Strong voiced Miss Minutes in Loki. Did you know that?
I don't know why that slipped my mind. I'm so sorry, Marla. I'm so embarrassed. There's like one person that listens to my stream regularly, and
Yeah,
I
Mega
couldn't
Geek.
even know this. I know every stupid little thing, and I missed this one. I'm sorry, Marla. You know what? I hope that she is in the movie, and that they give her like all the dialogue, and they need her for a bunch of scenes. You know what? I'm all for it.
No, you see, you're being too smart about a price. They should do that, but they will McDonald's size it and say, hey, just do these few scenes. It's safe, it's easy, and just have Tara Strong roll with it because of what she has done before. That's all this is. This is a McDonald's product for them. They don't care about being ambitious. They'll pretend to be ambitious and take everything they got, but they're still, it's one of those, we'll go get everything we got, ... within the safe confines of what we are trying to aim for. They're not ambitious to be ambitious. They're being ambitious ... comparatively speaking, compared to the last 10 years.
Well,
Okay. Go ahead, Brown. What were you saying?
What were you going to say, Brown?
Okay, I'll just channel Mega Geek. It'll be woke. It'll be shit. The end.
Yeah, probably.
Probably in more ways than one.
It's
Probably.
woke!
Yeah, I think that the problem here is bigger than woke. It's even if let's say whatever we're looking at here is not going to be that, and they just want to tell a story, it looks like a very convoluted story that they're trying to clean up a lot of messes and seemingly bring together all the different crap that they've done since Endgame and make it all make sense somehow. But they've pivoted so much, they've made so many mistakes that trying to put this together the way it's described here just isn't that great. Somebody in the chat said, why can't they just take Tobey Maguire and give him his own Spider-Man movie? And you know what? I would have preferred that also.
Toxic male, the end. Thank you. Moving on. Come on.
Right,
Come on!
Yeah, they really should. Honestly, they should go back and just let him have another one.
Obviously, because we want it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I would have no issue. I don't care if he's older. I don't care if they just said now we're doing Spider-Man 4. Here's Tobey Maguire. I would go see that movie. I would probably be happier, especially you bring in Sam Raimi and you don't bother him. You let him make a movie that he wants to make without bothering him every minute.
Sony, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, Sony and Disney now together, I guess.
They don't want to make money, obviously.
Yeah, they've licensed.
Double team, yeah.
They've kind of licensed the Spider-Man out directly to Disney now, so I don't know how much they can actually make their own Spider-Man films, at least not under their current agreement. But that's why they keep making all the other stuff around Spider-Man, like just all these other Spider-Man universe characters that they're doing, like the Venom movies and Madam Web and whatnot. So I guess getting back to the story. Next, while they're living there, they live there in the same world with the Fantastic Four for a while. Doom shows up, and he's there to warn Sue and Reed about these incursions, that their universe is going to be next, but that he has a plan for how they can deal with this stuff. So they're all going to be snatched away, and they're going to go over to the mainstream MCU planet, or Earth 616 as it's been identified. So here's the thing: like, I don't know whether they're actually going to show that, are they going to show his face? Or are they going to show that it's actually him? Or is he going to be in the armor the whole time? I don't know. Is it going to matter? Are we going to get any kind of explanation as to why he looks like...
You said Doomcock?
Yeah. Are we going to get any explanation as to why he looks like Tony? I don't know. It doesn't seem... Not in anything in this... synopsis kind of tells us, but they go to this other they find Steve, that he's also an anomaly. They explain to him all about the incursions and everything, and so then they decide they're going to trust Doom. That's fine for the characters to trust Doom, I suppose, in the plot, but we're already going to know that he can't be trusted. The audience is going to know this. Like, how can we be, go along with the story when we know that Doom is the bad guy?
What if they say, what if they retcon it and say that Tony Stark looks like Doom and not the other way around?
Or I don't know. I guess that's one way they could do it, right? Let's see. They travel to Earth 616. They all go there and they go talk to the Avengers, try to tell them to trust Doom's plan, and that his plan involves them going to the X-Men's universe. So we saw the X-Men at the beginning; they were destroying Toby's universe. Then we're going to go to the mainstream MCU people are going to go to the X-Men universe, and then we're going to have a fight.
Just quickly, Marla Shandoff says she asked her, and she's not in Doomsday as far as she knows.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, if they're going to have the TVA there, they might.
If they're already going to do it, that was
frankly.
one of the only. I mean, I didn't realize until now that it was her that did the voice, but I didn't mind Miss Minutes. That's the part that didn't bother me about it. So
when you go to see this movie in the theater, do you get like an instruction sheet or like minutes so you can keep up with what's going on?
It's going to be.
Sounds very complicated.
It's going to be like. Is it going to be like Dune 1984 when you got to the to the film? Or June, but they handed you a flyer basically when you went to the theater that had all of the terminology and everything from the movie, because the film was so dense and so full of strange words and terminology and all this stuff that nobody could decode it without some extra help, right? They go to fight the X-Men, Avengers versus X-Men. Oh, they're gonna heroes fighting heroes. Always gotta have heroes in a fight against other heroes because there's a misunderstanding every time.
Will all the white heroes die first?
Most likely, I would assume. Yeah,
that's okay. Male ones.
Oh, definitely. So they go to the X-Men's universe. They have their big fight there, big fight scenes. They assume that the MCU heroes and the Fantastic Four are coming to destroy them, obviously, because they've been going around destroying other universes. Why wouldn't you assume that they're here to kill you? They then they get their plan from Doom, and then they're going to split up into different teams to go to another Earth, where they're going to build these massive cannons.
What?
That will permanently separate the universes and stop incursions. So there's some big device that they're going to build on. It sounds to be like, and Nick would remember this, Crisis on Infinite Earths, right? Where they go and they put up the towers to try and isolate the planets so that they're not annihilated. So it sounds like that to me.
It sounds like a dramatically inferior version
of it, yes. They have so they split up into different teams, sending them different directions, which sounds a lot like Endgame, right?
How long does it take to build these big tower things?
Well, I mean, if you've got Reed Richards from Fantastic Four, he built an entire planet. He built them in like a day or two. So,
I just want to take. I want to take a quick. Just make a comment here.
Yeah,
I'm sharing on YouTube. I'm sharing Mr. Brown's link to his channel. Mr.
thank
Brown
you.
is a really, really good friend of mine. We've known each other for years. He has a really, really great channel that it's kind of like a hidden gem. You see a lot of really well-known YouTubers, far bigger than myself, hanging out there. It's this place that a lot of people kind of either built their
Hope.
career there in some cases, or in some cases just like hanging out there. It's a cool little kind of, like I said, like a hidden gem that I think not enough people know about it. He's very close to 5,000
For the
subs.
past 2 years now.
Yeah, and I'm not blaming
No
anybody.
rush.
I don't know why sometimes algorithms work one way or another, but let's just say that for whatever reasons, it's become very difficult for him to sometimes get the exposure. And if you guys could stop what you're
On
doing and
YouTube.
go and
Yep.
do a subscribe on the channel that I shared here.
Yeah, come on, folks, do your part. Help this old.
Right. I mean, we're trying to
Teaser
at least
out.
get him to
God,
5K, and he's still
hop
close.
over there and give him a subscription. Yeah.
So yeah,
Please.
so please do
Um,
that. And yeah, Nick, where are you, Nick Weiser? What's going
Yeah,
on?
Nick says he's got a roll.
Oh, do you want to say goodbye to everybody? You could say goodbye.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me, Price. Great to see you, man. Press R2. We'll be in touch by having you on about Nick Talks Truck again.
Will do.
Okay, I gotta get going. I gotta knock out. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, Nick.
All right, I'll see you later, man. Thank
guys.
you. Great seeing you.
Thanks for
Great
hanging with us,
seeing you.
Nick. Have a
Chad,
good one.
thanks for being here. Enjoy the rest of the show. I gotta pass out. Have a great evening, guys. Thank you.
Bye, man. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Is Nick Bud's brother?
Nick, whose brother?
Bud
Bud?
Weiser.
Budweiser.
Oh, I don't know. No, I don't think so. In any
Welcome
case,
to killing-
so I dropped
I got it,
this
Brown.
thing here.
Welcome
was-
to killing everything.
I
Sorry,
was
folks.
waiting for Price to catch
Unsubscribe
on.
my channel. I don't deserve it. Goodbye.
Let's try to do something at least. Let's give him a few subs. Like,
Yeah,
it's really easy to do it. Just click on it. And also, it's not that I'm doing this just because, like, I'm doing it some like favor because I'm trying to be nice. I actually hang out on this channel. Professor hangs out on this channel.
Pretty
It's the
much
phobos that you see
2
here. We
years
hang
solid.
out there.
Yeah.
Mega Geek, like we like hanging out there. And I've hung out with a lot of other cool people. I remember once I came on, like the little platoon was there. I
Came
did
on the little platoon. What?
Oh my.
what'd you say?
Okay, move on.
In any case, I'm just saying that, like, over in the
Move on.
past, I've been in different places. The movie Cynic, I know I've been on a stream that, like, he was on there. There have been times that we've all hung out there, even like, with Vex and things like that. It's just a cool place to hang out. I'm not
It's
saying
a
that
great place to hang out.
It's a
Price.
it's a
Come
good
on,
place
let's
to
not
hang out. Yeah, it's
undersell it.
fun,
Come on, yes.
and that's why I'm recommending it.
Thank you, everybody. We are 147 away from 5K.
Well, you guys should do whatever you can to help.
Yes,
All right.
please. Thank you, everybody. I'd love you
Yes.
forever. Thank you.
Okay, so let's we'll get back real quick to these plot leaks here.
Thank you,
So
Price.
they head to these different planets. They're going to build these cannons, whatever they are, to try to separate the universes so there's no more incursions. So they break into teams. They head off to different realities, different Earths. Meanwhile, it says that so Steve, when he saw Loki, which I don't know where this happens in the show, right? That Loki's able to, because we know at the end of the second season he's a little busy.
Anybody
he's
watch
not-
Loki?
I mean, I watched
watched it.
both seasons, but I wasn't particularly thrilled
Couldn't
by
stand
either.
it. Couldn't
either
stand
of
it.
them.
Really? I quite liked season 2. It was, considering everything we've had with the TV shows, it was okay.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of
No.
convoluted.
Well, yeah, but
it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't think the
didn't like
first
it at
season
all.
was the worst either, but yeah.
I didn't like it at all. Personally.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
So Loki shows up at some point, right? It's time travel, so I guess it could be any time. But Loki, when he was there talking to Steve, gave him some sort of card that allows him to get into the TVA. I don't understand. But he tells Thor that he's seen a living, that Loki's alive, because Loki in their universe, if you remember at the end of Endgame, was dead, right?
Yeah.
So he tells him that there's a living Loki and that he's got this card that says he'll take him to him. So he and Thor go to see Loki in the TVA, and they find him there, and he's dead, and it says something about his heart being ripped out or something, and they realize that it's Doom that's responsible for this. Now, how they figure that out, I don't know. Maybe that's explained a little bit better in the actual film itself, but somehow they know it was Doom that was responsible for killing Loki, and they go back. Sorry. They go back to confront him about it, and then they figure out, or I guess Doom tells them his true plan, does some monologuing as villains do, and tells them that he has a plan, actually, that these cannons that they're building, whatever, are actually going to cause the incursions to get even worse, or allow them to happen, and then it's going to destroy the universe, and then he's going to be able to be the one that gets to rebuild and decide what the universe looks like, so that way he can resurrect his dead family, which is his reason for doing all of this. So he takes Steve to his Latverian castle, where he has a bunch of followers. Doom has cult members, I guess, and those cult members are witches, and one of them pretends to be his wife. I don't know.
Space witches.
Witches. What is it? Why is it always witches? I don't know.
Lesbian space witches.
They got to be lesbian space witches, right?
Please,
yeah.
I hope so.
So then they try to manipulate him by impersonating Peggy, not pegging.
Oh,
Sorry,
Haley Atwell. Oh,
yeah, oh yeah. Then Doom reveals that it was actually Steve's original. At the end of Endgame, when he went to this other universe, that was the original incursion, this change in the universe or whatever that caused everything to happen from there. So he sort of caused everything to start snowballing and falling apart.
Steve Rogers is a greedy asshole.
He's a greedy white man who
only
just
thought about himself.
Just only thinking about himself. Exactly.
Toxic asshole male, yeah.
And that this incursion caused all sorts of other stuff, and was what led to the death of Doom's family, and him getting disfigured and whatever, so that now he has to wear the suit and the mask and whatever. And then it says that he kills, and we've heard this leak before, that this was part of this, that he kills Steve's son right there in front of him, right? So, great idea in your comic book movie, kill a child. That's the way to bring the audience in.
Well, that's okay, because the child is obviously male, yes?
Yes, and white.
And
yes.
white, so that's okay. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so if I can find my spot here. So yeah, they find out all about Doom's family and everything. He kills his son, and then Doom announces that the Avengers are coming to Latveria. They're gonna have their big fight here at the end. The Fantastic Four, the Avengers, the X-Men, all these teams that have been on these different planets. They're all headed here, and there's going to be a big fight. And in fact, even Thor prays to Odin to send the armies of Valhalla to join the battle. So, Aragorn goes and talks to the ghost. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's a different movie.
Actually, going to film this.
Have already filmed. I don't. So he prays to Odin to send an army. Isn't Odin dead?
Yeah, it's multiverse, so he'll be alive in this one.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say whatever. Oh, I guess maybe if he's dead and he's in Valhalla, he can send the armies of Valhalla. I don't know. there's a huge fight, and all of the, while they're fighting, trying to stop Doom, whatever, all of the universes collide together. The incursions all pile up, and the universe blows up. Everyone dies. Doom is the only survivor. He remakes the entire universe, bringing all these people back to life, and including his family, whatever, creating this one planet called Battle World, where everyone is alive, but none of them have any memories of ever being anyone else, ever living anywhere else. They all think the only place they've ever lived, the only universe they've ever been a part of, is Battle World.
It sounds like the plot of WandaVision.
Okay. Is there like an infrastructure on this planet where there's like supply chains of food, water, electric? Is that all in place?
I would assume that they're going to answer all those questions. They're going to tell us all about the water reclamation systems, and they're going to spend some time telling us about how sewage is handled properly.
Right, but doesn't this remind you of what happened with WandaVision? That effectively she basically held the people hostage, that they were kind of clueless as to what really was going on, and she was controlling everything. This kind of sounds like a similar idea to an extent, on paper at least.
They don't know what you truly suffered for them, Bryce.
No, they don't.
No.
Yeah,
and
you'll never know what it's suffered.
You'll never know.
that will be the end of the film. Doom triumphant, sitting on his throne, ruling over Battle World, and then of course we get the next film that comes after it, which is going to be Secret Wars, where now I would assume now they start to wake up and remember they're from different universes, and they have big fights and whatever, right? Who knows? But
the Valhalla army sounds quite interesting. At least they've got an army. In the UK, we don't have an army. Moving on, that's for the Brits. You're welcome.
What's the point of bringing Toby back for this? Are they just killing him off? What are they doing with Toby again?
Killing him off.
That really sucks. I don't want to see him get killed off.
Well, and I assume we're going to get to see Patrick Stewart's Xavier killed off again.
Man,
come here, Price. Let me give you a kiss.
We're going to get to see that killed off again. We're going to get to see all these heroes of these characters that we love. They're all going to get killed off. Then they're going to get resurrected, but I guarantee you some of them aren't going to be, right? There's going to be, a bunch of them that we don't get to see again. I wonder if, because they're going to the X-Men universe. I wonder if we get to see, what was her name from the Marvels?
Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, Monica Rambeau's. I wonder if we get to see her again. Is she going to be in this?
I want her to say the line. I want her to walk up to like Doom at the end and say, "They'll never know. They'll never know what you sacrificed." Or what's the line? What's the line?
They'll never know what you what you
sacrificed for them.
You for something.
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them. That's what I think the sentence is. It's something like that, at least.
Yeah, they'll never know what you sacrificed for them. Yeah, that's right.
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
What a stupid sentence. That is like the dumbest thing that was ever said. The whole show loses any shred of credibility with that one sentence. Like, WandaVision, the first few episodes, you could have argued that it was something a bit interesting, but as the show progresses, and then when you have that sentence, it falls off a cliff. There's no way to recover from that.
Somebody in the chat asked if the UK had a navy. Yes, we have 2 inflatable dinghies. Anyway, moving on.
Well, you'd think you'd have a lot more inflatable dinghies now. They're more arriving every day.
Yeah, yes, more each day. Yes.
The only good thing you have is Harry Kane. That's like the only.
Apparently, they keep them in storage. Keep them in storage so their original owners can collect them. True story.
Have you been watching the football, or you're not into it, Brown?
Soccer.
Well, soccer,
sure, yeah.
Football, whatever you want to call it.
Yes. Being an England fan is just excruciating agony most of the time. But yeah, I'll be watching a little bit. Yeah, Yeah.
But no. So Harry Kane kind of saved you guys the other day.
The England match is straight after our Sunday stream.
Oh wow!
Oh my!
Yeah, couldn't have timed it more perfectly. 1 a.m. Anyway, moving on. Carry on before I kill it.
I haven't been watching it. Did the I guess US played yesterday? Did they win or lose?
They won, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing well.
Back in the day, I didn't always live. It's a really long story, but there were years that I didn't live in the U.S. And I actually, I remember that there was that campaign where David Beckham, I think he got a red card, and Michael Owen was there, but they didn't let him play a lot. Like they only like from time to time when he was pretty young, but everybody wanted to see like Owen on the pitch. And at the time, I was rooting for England, and it was kind of cool. I would sit and drink Guinness at bars and watch it.
Nice.
But at the end, I think that David Beckham got this annoying red. Maybe was it Ortega in Argentina something? Ariel Ortega.
Yeah, he got him sent off dirty.
So that that was a real problem. I mean, and I think it was a problem for Beckham as well. It took him a while to recover even his reputation in England from that. Yeah,
hated him. That 98. Yeah.
That was a bit of a
lost
shame.
His rag by just kind of flipping his leg back, and the ref
so stupid. It was such a stupid red card. I will also say that I watched live Manchester United beat Bayern Munich. That was such
an amazing final.
That was I actually watched maybe most of their campaign that year in the Champions League, and when I watched that game and it looked like it was hopeless. It was Mario something who
Van Peebles. Yes, he's fantastic.
Mario, what was his last name?
Van Peebles.
Van Peebles. In any case, for Bayern, he had Mario whatever. He had a goal, and then the whole season, I was thinking to myself every time they brought Sheringham on, I thought, man, this guy's kind of over the hill.
No,
and when they brought him on there, I'm like, man, what's Sheringham going to do here in the 80th minute or whatever it is? And he fucking scores. Like, no, I think first Sheringham scores. Like unbelievable. I had zero faith that Sheringham would score that ball. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to pop culture in a second. Had zero faith in Teddy Sheringham. Then he brings Solskjaer. And that was just insanity. That was fucking insanity. I don't think I've ever seen a more dramatic ending to a game. Still,
one of the greatest football games ever. Yes,
one of the greatest ever. And the fact that I was sitting and like, of course I wasn't at the stadium, but I'm saying that I'm sitting with people and watching this live, and we're all so invested in it. It was fantastic. It's the kind of magic that rarely. I don't feel that kind of feeling when I even watch a game today. Such a great campaign that year. Manchester United during that year, like you couldn't not. You couldn't not be fond of them. The year of the treble.
The only feeling that comes close, Price, is when you appear on Sunday night on the Musings, isn't it?
Yes, that's a close second appearing on Mr. Brown Alliance. But Mr. Brown, you know what I'm talking about. In any case,
I did. I was working nights and we took the television in to watch it, and amazing. Yeah, incredible.
Absolutely.
Game. Yeah, absolutely incredible.
That's like the peak of Manchester United. But when you reach that kind of peak, you can never kind of reach that peak again. I don't care what they did with Cristiano Ronaldo, whatever. There may have been other good years, but it was never like that again,
Ferguson should have probably retired at that point.
Yes.
How could you beat that other than, could you beat that?
Should have retired and just, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, do something else. Play golf.
Anyhow, back to this Avengers thing. Professor, do you think that this is gonna go do really badly at the box office? What do you think will happen with this kind of movie?
I think there's going to be a pretty solid showing on the first week. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be excited by the trailers to say, "Oh, look at all of these characters that are in there. Look at all of these people they're bringing on. Oh, MCU's back." And then that first weekend, people are going to find out, "Oh no, this movie is terrible."
Okay, what if it's good? What if it's a good movie though?
I mean, if it's a good movie, yeah, I don't know. If it's a good movie, yeah, people are going to keep going to see it. It's going to make a lot of money if it's good. I don't think there's a chance of that. Seeing this script, or it's not the script, but seeing this plot, if this is real, if that's the case, and just the idea, the MCU is kind of, frankly, the MCU is dead. I mean, they've buried it, dead and buried over the last 5-6 years.
We've moved on. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, it's
moved
total,
on.
It's apathy now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
This movie is the drug addict going back after the first high. We're just going, back for the chase the dragon, as it were. We know it's going to be bad, or is it? We don't know. You can never beat the first high of when, all these movies started coming out originally. Coming out, what? Yeah.
I mean, the
think
first
we've
Iron
moved
Man
on.
for me
We've
is
moved on. I think we've moved on.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes things have to come to an end. What they really should have done after Endgame, they should have stopped it, and they should have ended it and not make a movie until now. And now, if you want to take a few of the people we like from Marvel and say, "Hey, we're making a movie without all the weird shit we got, all those like the Marvels and all this crap, forget about all the shows, everything, just cold turkey for like 7 years." And now you're like,
we
"Well, we're
said
doing
that at the time. They should have just, after it, 5 years, no more. Let everybody want it."
Right.
But they doubled down on more.
And they wanted to shove. They became so greedy that not only did they want to double down, they wanted to double down on the message.
And shittification, Big Sur River, and shittification is.
Oh yes, indeed it is.
So yeah, so they just they ruined it, and it's so hard. I understand that they're trying to get the band back together here, but this sounds so ill-conceived. This thing. I really struggle to find how this is going to be a cool time at the movies to watch. I think that they're trying to end it with Steve's son or whatever it is, kind of on a Infinity War type of feeling. They want a big cliffhanger at the end. The problem is that with Infinity War, they built that thing up for years. So by the time Infinity War came along with all of the proper build up, there was real excitement when it happened because everybody was invested.
It was an event. It was an event.
It was
event
a big
cinema.
And it's one of the last times that I saw such an event. I mean, and then when Endgame came along, some people can say they like it, didn't like it, but there's no denying that when I went to see Endgame and I was standing online, that place was like, there were people standing outside in a way that I'm not even used to seeing in movies anymore.
Yep.
I sat there in a packed theater in a kind of rowdy crowd that I rarely ever see. I rarely ever see anything like this. The only other time I can think of in the past, I don't know how many years, I sat and I watched, let's say, The Force Awakens. I saw that with a very full theater that was very excited. I saw that, and I saw maybe Avengers Endgame, things like that. You don't get a lot of those kind of movie events.
I used to go visit my friend, quite a drive away, to watch these Marvel movies. They used, couple of times a year, go to the cinema. It was an event. We've not had that since pretty much lockdown, isn't it? No event cinema. It's gone.
Yeah.
No,
there's no event cinema. I think
shit, everybody.
No, you know what? I liked there was an event when it was Spider-Man No Way Home, and maybe Deadpool and Wolverine was a bit of an event. But again, there's so far and few between these days. There isn't this big deal that everybody wants to go see it. They've ruined most of the brands. What possible movie could we all get excited for now?
Good question. The Odyssey.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to work. In any case, I want to tell you that we got a few subs for Brown since I put this thing. Can we get at least 3 more?
We got five subs.
5 subs. I was already willing to do 3. I'm willing to whatever. And I wouldn't steer you guys wrong. If you're not sub to him, I honestly recommend it. It's not.
I'm getting desperate now, and I'm being honest. I'm getting desperate.
Right. No, and I understand why he's getting desperate, because the algorithm, for whatever reason, is not going to help him. So at least we want to
Nope.
we want to at least give him that. He's put so much work into it for years, and he has such a great hangout spot there that we want to at least see that he gets to that
I've
5,000.
not missed a show in 4 years.
No, and his shows are really good. Like I highly recommend it. It's going to be a sub that you don't regret. So if you haven't done it already, if you're watching this stream, go to that
51
link.
watching on Rumble, 85 on YouTube. That would be almost enough to get me to the line.
That is 100% true. I'll share it even here. See whatever
Price
you
said he would do a naked dance at 5K if we get 5K. Yes.
I don't recall saying that, but I honestly
he'll tell the Leslie Headland story again
for the 100th time. No, really, guys, that I so rarely, I never ask anybody of anything, but it would be so cool. I want to see my friend succeed, and I also think he deserves it. So if
deserving and what you get are totally different, aren't they?
It's a tough field. It's a tough field, and I don't know. I can't pretend to understand how algorithms works and why something works and something doesn't work or things like that. But I do know that you're very consistent. You do your streams every week. There's also a nice audience for it. So relative to the amount of people that you have, there's much bigger channels with a lot more subscribers that would be very happy with the type of following you have that watches your streams. It's just for some reason doesn't always get pushed out to maybe new people. So anything we can do.
I'll go rhythmic hell. Yeah. Thank you.
Istafobos says half the people are already subbed though.
I know. I know that's the problem. We have a nice little. It's almost like we have a nice little pocket universe. You see what I did there?
That's true. That's true.
We all have this little pocket universe in YouTube, and it's pretty much all the same YouTubers in this little. Obviously, we've got Gary, Drink, and all those lot in the kind of the big universe. We're just over there in the corner somewhere doing our thing, aren't we?
It's still a nice thing that we do. It's more kind of like, it's I'll tell you what, sometimes you have those kind of music festivals, and then you have like the big stage where all like these big bands arrive. And then sometimes you have like on the side a little stage where these kind of more kind of artsy or kind of outside the box or things that are a bit like offbeat. And they're kind of in that other stage.
Oh, I like that. Yes.
We're kind of like the other stage that's not like the big, more mainstream stage, if you want to call it that way. Not that I think the Drinker or Gary are mainstream necessarily, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Drinker and Gary is the main stage at Glastonbury.
Yes.
And we're like the Avalon Fields at Glastonbury.
Exactly. We're the thing on the side where like you see all these kind of acts that are either up and coming or kind of more niche or things like that. But sometimes there's a lot of people that go to these kind of festivals and want to see that niche. They want to see that thing that's not like the ordinary, but something that's a little more outside the box. And I think that's what our channels do. And people are right. Probably you and I, Brown, have a lot of the same, followers, but that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Literally, we're all interconnected, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's good. I feel like we're all friends, and we're all kind of on the same page. And I like that we do all this stuff together.
Indeed,
and that you're finally here on a stream.
And I shat the bed.
Oh, that's why you're up so early.
The cat was howling at 5:45. I want feeding, so I shouted at the cat for a few minutes and decided he's not going away. So I fed the cat, watered the garden, and I thought, I'm going to see if Price and Prof are on, and there you were.
And
although I feel shortchanged because where's the Mega Geek?
Yeah.
The one day that you're here, he wasn't
busy.
Here.
Yeah. Didn't see him in the chat.
Now, when it comes to the second weekend of Supergirl, what do you think the numbers are going to be?
Ooh.
2.
I think we're looking at a 70% drop. It's going to be close to maybe 68. It's going to be bad.
Does anybody care, to be honest?
I mean,
just for kind of shits and giggles, you know.
Shits and giggles.
Shits and giggles, Price.
I suppose, yes.
Yeah, it's not going to do well. I think Minions and Monsters is actually going to have a really good weekend. I think it's probably going to upset everything. Obviously, right now the only other stuff we've got out there is Toy Story 5, Supergirl. I think Supergirl is going to do very, very poorly.
Okay. I was going to say, Price, you know, when we said about event cinema and what we go to see, and, you know, Jason Statham is pretty much the only person who I will make an effort now to go watch a movie. How bad is that? Or good?
I mean, he makes the same movie over and over again, but he does that movie pretty well.
Yeah.
If nothing else, you know what you're getting, and you know it's. I kind of like his movies too, and I think that over the years I've actually grown more appreciative of his movies than I was in the past.
So just for a comparison, right there, you see that the Supergirl has at the moment has crossed 74 million. Minions and Monsters, again, a kids movie, but it's only in previews. It's been out since they started showings yesterday. Today, it has already crossed 30 million globally in 2 days. It's not even out of previews yet.
Would it be cheaper for them just to withdraw this movie now?
Kind of like those theaters were tearing down the posters. And
stuff.
You
know, it is the theaters I feel sorry for, that they've got to show this shite. And
this is the best they've got.
They're just burning money. Screen. The cinemas are just burning money to play this shite. I feel sorry for the theaters, cinemas.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the terrible popcorn buckets they made for this movie?
The brown,
the weird foreskin ones. Yeah.
Oh, that was the cup. That was the cup. That had the weird like foreskin.
So wait, what were you talking? What were you talking about?
There were buckets, popcorn buckets made. One of them was it was supposed to be a Lobo like riding on his bike, but it like just the back of it opened up. It could hold maybe 4 ounces of popcorn. It was so stupid,
ridiculous. Yeah.
But yeah, that had that creepy, disgusting cup. That this is Supergirl. Let's say second weekend. So first weekend was what? Total was like 36 domestic or something. Yeah. It was dreadful.
What is Mr. Gunn saying to Warner's about this behind the scenes?
Ooh.
You know, I think that if I were him,
I'd resign.
What I would do is, I'm not saying that this is good, but I'm saying like if right now you're asking me for my professional opinion, I've worked with talent before, not with somebody like a director, producer, and not somebody of the celebrity status or whatever of James Gunn. So I can't say that I've given advice to somebody in this exact situation, but if theoretically for some reason he asked me for my advice for whatever experience I have working in, you know, something that involves the industry, I would tell James Gunn to do this. I mean, again, I don't agree with this. I'm saying you paid me money and you want the advice. This is all he can do. He would go and tell David Ellison that under tricky conditions and uncertain conditions, he basically is working here to build a universe. And sometimes when you build and lay the ground for a universe, there's some hits and misses. So he's definitely going to learn from everything and focus on the things that did work versus the things that didn't work. And, overall, he still has a vision that he thinks can, do well for David Ellison. Now, all of this sounds like bullshit. It is bullshit. It's the only thing he has. I mean, he can't speak. What else can he say? Creatures, Commandos, nobody watched it. Superman lost money at the box office, only broke even on streaming. Supergirl was a disaster. He can also say, listen, this may not look good to you, but we still have lanterns and we still have, he can try to buy time. We still have lanterns and we still have Clayface. Clayface didn't cost a whole lot of money to make, and it already looks like it's tracking to make a lot of money. That one's going to be profitable.
Be a surprise, I feel.
What'd you say?
Clayface will be a pleasant surprise. I've just got a good feeling about that one.
I think that, listen, it'll be a pleasant surprise because if they spent, let's say, 40 million allegedly on it, and then they don't lose money, you can at least say, look, I'm building something here. See, we try a lot of different ideas. This is going to make money. I feel like that movie, because it's horror and it's almost not even like a DC thing at all. I mean, it is, but it's not really the main thing that you think of when you think about DC. That one may make money with horror enthusiasts, and James Gunn is going to try to capitalize on it. Lanterns, I don't think is going to do well for
I
him.
also had a good feeling about The Flash.
What'd you say?
I also had a good feeling about The Flash.
Oh, you thought it would be good?
Yes. $1 billion.
Yes.
I will say this. I'll give you one thing, Brown. The Flash was better than Supergirl. Now,
Black Adam was...
What'd you say?
Okay. Black Adam was not bad.
Black Adam was better than Supergirl.
Drink, everybody. Cat's going mad.
Black Adam was better than Supergirl. Black Adam was a movie that really, like, it wasn't necessarily the worst thing I'd ever seen, as much as it was just kind of tired, uninspired, and going through the motions. There was nothing that really stood out about the movie. Maybe if it had come out early on when they were doing superhero movies, it would have been more well received. But the problem is, once it came out, there was just something very lackluster about it. Not a disaster like Supergirl. I will say again, Black Adam better than Supergirl. Shazam 1 and 2 better than Supergirl.
Yeah.
Shazam 1 and 2 better than Supergirl. Absolutely. And even, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I can't believe it. This is difficult for me. Even Blue Beetle, I think, was better than Supergirl. And I thought Blue Beetle was shitty.
Never saw it.
What'd you say?
I never saw it.
You know why? You know why Blue Beetle still is better than Supergirl? Because if nothing else, the guy that plays Miguel from Cobra Kai is a likable guy.
Zolo,
Xolo Meridueña. I think he's a likable guy. And, and if nothing else, you're watching a guy that you're kind of rooting for, even if the screenplay is failing him. But you like the actor and you don't mind him. It's just the whole setup around him was super annoying. I would be very disappointed if I was that actor, because he seemed really excited to be there and to play the role. And I like it when people are excited to play the role and they really get into it.
He was happy to be there.
He was not one of those Zeglers. He seemed like really happy to be there and to be given the opportunity. Same with, even though I think that Miss Marvel was a dumb show and I think that the Marvel sucked, the only thing I can say is that the conduct, at least, of that actress, Iman Vellani, Iman Vellani, yes. I think that anytime she had an interview, she just said how excited she was to be a part of it. She never blamed anybody for anything. Even when you saw the movie, she seemed really excited anytime she's on screen that anybody gave her an opportunity. I at least appreciated that. I think that the movies and the show were terrible, but I don't blame her. People that are always like, oh, all these terrible men, the manosphere, and they hate women, they hate this. I said at the time, you can go look at videos from that time that I said, I think she's likable. I don't have anything against her, but man, the show isn't good and the character really is annoying, but I don't dislike her.
DC had set up Henry Cavill to come back, and then Gunn's ego took over, and that was it, the end.
Biggest mistake. All he needed to do was come back and, like, let's say he didn't even want to do anything that had to do with the Justice League or whatever it is. He comes back.
Movie,
yeah, Henry Cavill's already there, and he does just one movie that's a Superman movie. The problem is, and this is why I think Gary wrote a tweet the other day that he's like, wow, Henry Cavill really dodged a bullet with his James Gunn thing, because he would have come to do a movie with James Gunn, and James Gunn would have done a terrible movie. It is possible, but I'm sad because I think that Henry Cavill was good casting, and I liked him in the role. I just really wanted to see one movie that wasn't shitty with him. I mean, okay, to be fair, I would say that the movies he was in were not shitty like the James Gunn, in my opinion, movie, but I think that there was a better screenplay to be given to him to make a better movie. We didn't see the best of Henry Cavill, in my opinion, as Superman.
No.
And still, I would still, unironically, and I said it in my review, I would watch like versus Supergirl, anything from Zack Snyder, anything from DCU. I would watch that over Supergirl. Supergirl is the bottom of the barrel for me. It really is like one of the worst I've seen in a very long time. People are like, "Oh, you're just exaggerating. It's not that bad." I think it's bad. I don't know. I don't think I'm exaggerating. I think it's a really bad movie.
It is indeed. Yeah.
It is. It can be mentioned in the same sentence as Madam Web, in my opinion, for different reasons. Madam Web is at least has the aspect that you're sitting there laughing hysterically because it's so bad. With Supergirl, you're not even laughing that it's bad. It's just bad, and you're annoyed that you're watching it. So in a way, it's even less than Madam Web.
May I just say, my cat is nearly 20 years old, and I think he's got some dementia. I am not a cruel cat owner. Moving on.
Cats always want more food. Always.
I gotta put 5:45 to feed my pussy.
Somebody said Henry Cavill didn't get a chance to play good Superman, and somebody else say same as Corn Sweat. I don't hate David Corn Sweat.
I don't either. I think he's all right. Believe it or not,
I think he's all right. Now, if you ask me, I prefer Cavill, and I would have wanted him to do a good movie.
Corn Sweat, though, at this moment.
What'd you say?
I will take Corn Sweat at this moment. If he's in the right suit and looks good and stuff, instead of making him look fugly.
Right. I mean, I think that the actor, anytime you see him even interviewed or talking about it, he seems to have a very positive attitude again, and he seems really happy to be in the role. It's just he doesn't write it. He can't do anything beyond what he's told, and they want him to act and be a certain way, and I think that way is all wrong. Henry Cavill, I really like the casting. Like I said, I think that there was a better script to give him to really do a good Superman movie. I think that we never saw the best. There were parts of Man of Steel that I thought were good alongside parts that really bothered me.
Act 3 was dog shit, though.
What'd you say?
Act 3 of Man of Steel was just...
Well, I mean, if I had to say the problems I have with Man of Steel, and we've talked about them probably a million times, but since you're not usually here, Pa Kent's death, unforgivable. It was
a bit poo.
It was the type of thing where I wanted to like stop watching that. Like, it's the type of thing that you almost want to get up and leave the theater. It was annoying to me that that's the way Pa Kent died. It really bothers me until this day. That's one thing. The battle at the end with Zod in the buildings, didn't like that, and him killing Zod, didn't like that. And with all of that being said, if I remove these three moments, or if you fix them, if you make it so Pa Kent doesn't die like this, and those other two things don't happen, my sentiments towards the movie become a lot more positive. It's just that those moments, I can't forget that I saw them, and I don't agree with them. And I guess that's some. What'd you say?
You can't unsee it.
Right, you can't unsee it. And it's a problem because there's moments like when you're on Krypton, especially those scenes with like Russell Crowe on Krypton and things like that. There's moments that I actually like what I'm seeing there. I like Henry Cavill. I like his sort of vibe and how he like walks around. He seems like Superman. There's certain moments of this movie that I like, and certain moments that frustrate me, and that's just my feeling about that movie. Again, Batman versus Superman again has a lot of things that I have issues with. There's isolated scenes like Batman in the warehouse, as an action scene, kind of like that.
Yeah, I liked the Ultimate Edition. That was all right.
Yeah, I guess the Ultimate is better than the one that went theatrical, the theatrical one. There's again, it's a long movie that makes mistakes here and there, and some of them that are hard to ignore. There's moments in it that I like, and that's really, I think, what defines and what the frustration for me was during the Snyder era. But I will say this, in James Gunn's movie, at least me personally, I don't even have those moments that I'm like, well, this is kind of cool. I like this. There's really nothing for me there. I look at it and I can't even find the comfort of the moments that, it's not even a situation that I say, well, if they only fix this one thing, the movie would be good, or fix these three things and I'll like the movie better. It's not, we're not even in that conversation there. What could you do with Supergirl? Nothing.
You have a total of 137 people watching you, and 136, and every single person who was watching wanted a good Superman movie.
I believe it, yeah.
Sorry, 134. They're going they're leaving. I'll shut up.
The second you said it, they're gone. They're done with you.
I mean, Every
No,
time we
now
say
they're back.
Supergirl, somebody leaves.
36.
Here they're coming back now, man.
Yep.
Oh, it's screwed, folks. We're not getting it back. Sorry.
No, I don't think we're getting anything.
We're not getting it back. We just need to move on. Cope. I think we've...
Listen, there's one thing that could still happen. There's one thing that I think could still happen. David Ellison could take control, could let Gunn wrap up his whatever it is and finish his contract and do his Man of Tomorrow. That's a little DCU thing that he did. It's his thing. It's the Gunverse, whatever it is. You wrap it up and you tell him you're not making any more. You're done. Meanwhile, there is a chance. I know how strange this sounds. There is still a chance that somehow Zack Snyder will make one movie. I know it sounds unlikely, but considering the people that spent money and helped, secure this Paramount deal, all love Zack Snyder and seem to love his universe, the investors, there is a chance. I'm not giving it 100% chance, but I'm saying like I could see like a 65% chance that Zack Snyder could come back. But at this point, those actors are already, in my opinion, getting older. Maybe they would let him make one movie, that's sort of a tip of the hat to his universe. It could also be sort of a test. They do one movie that's sort of a quote-unquote standalone. Kind of like when they do a series and they say it's a limited series, but then if the limited series does well, they say it's a real series. And it'll continue for more seasons. So they do something like that. They give him one movie. He does what he does. If it makes like the best money, it's doing great, and everybody seems to be behind it, and there's a great response to it, they'll be like, you know what? Maybe we can make more of these. If it just does like okay or not that great or whatever, they'll say, well, this is a nice send-off. It'll be great for streaming. We'll see you later, man. Well, goodbye, and that's it.
They can even adapt. There are some great stories in which Superman is dying. Where there's some really good stories. There's the All-Star Superman. There's Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, where they could basically tell the story of, here's Superman. He's in his old age. He's dying now. And, then you get to have a really powerful story, really touching story with a Superman. And then, for instance, like with All-Star Superman, spoilers for a really old comic book. But at the end, you find out that there's a project to create a new Superman. He's going to have a son. There's going to be a new Superman. So you can do something like that, where like you get to give Cavill his really solid, great performance, his opportunity to play a Superman, a very sympathetic version of Superman, and then he's off. He's done with that role for good, and then they can hand it off to somebody else.
Will James Gunn's wife be in these movies?
Yeah, somebody says if James Gunn loses his job, how will any of his family get work? These are good questions. People are saying, Big Sir River says Cavill looks good, could still play Superman. He could, listen, they could do that. The Dark Knight, whatever it is, there's some comic that I think that Batman is in it and Superman is in it. He could still, Zack Snyder can come back and do one movie that has even Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill in it. I dare say maybe even if it's in a minor capacity, Gal Gadot, maybe, I don't know who else he would want there. He could do a movie that will function as sort of a tip of the hat send-off that he never really got to do, based hopefully on a comic that's not crap, using writers that can write screenplay and not Snyder himself. There is something that could be done here. There's a formula for success here. If all the people put their ego aside and the right decisions are made, which usually never happens in Hollywood, then maybe there's something that you could do one movie. That's what I think. But who knows?
Perhaps they could hire some of these white, pale, and stale writers who were really good at their jobs, and they just got sacked because they were white. Pale and stale.
I personally think that as opposed to Anna Nogueira or whatever her name is, because I haven't written, I studied writing back in the day, but because I haven't written, superhero stories, not comic books and not screenplays, I don't know that I would be the best person to adapt a screenplay. Although after seeing Anna Nogueira, I'm thinking, at least I could do better than that. I could probably do better than what she did, but. There are people that are, like Brown says, that are experts at this. There's people that certainly can pull this off, and they just need to do it. I think that this idea that auteurs, now they like somebody that's a director needs to write, is a mistake. I think that Zack Snyder, if you give him a screenplay that's well written and well put together with a production team that's kind of, not just letting him carte blanche do every single thing that he wants, but actually trying to guide him in a way to make the right decisions in certain situations, I think that there could be a phenomenal movie there, or a very decent movie.
It could do with the Mega Geek as a consultant for James Gunn, telling him, knock it off. Sorry,
Well,
not James Gunn,
James Gunn,
for
Zack
Zack
Snyder.
Snyder saying, knock it on the head, son.
I would
Go,
100% bring Mega Geek to do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that having Mega Geek there, a guy that like was able to make a something that looks like a legitimate, movie. Of course, not one that looks like it was cost a gazillion dollars to make, but very legitimate what he did, and he did it for almost $0. He did it with so little that it's hard for me not to think that if he was around where there's a lot of money and people don't know how to make the right decisions, I think that he would help make a lot of great ones if somebody actually listened to him.
If anything, he could say to Zack Snyder, no, Zack, it's shit.
Oh, okay. So he would do that. I see that Professor R2 has
You're
posted
being
some
serious,
names
I'm
of
sorry.
people. So Professor R2 has sent me some names here on Rumble. We have Angelo DD, Born to Be Down, God Bless 5697, Phantomunk, Folsom Lockdown, Reach'em 842, Pure Blood-Based Berserker, some late guy, Long Island 90, who also gave a Rumble rant. Thank you very much, my friend. Radio Streamer, Dude Roast F420, B-Roll Stage. Nice to see you, man. I didn't see B-Roll Stage was here. The Devastator 5319. That's cool. Professor, if you want to talk about some people that were on YouTube, that's cool as well. We did, just before you do, I'll say that we got some, we got that super chat from Deadman, Vex Electronica, who fell asleep while I was talking. She's been a member for 6 months. And also Nick Weiser gave a few super chats here. Then he hung out with us. Friend of the channel, one that I haven't hung out in a long time with. Really like Nick. And of course, we're here with Mr. Brown. We're also very happy that he was here. I will even shamelessly...
I'm happy.
I will shamelessly put his YouTube here again. And you all are invited to give him a like. So, yeah. I guess we did all that. Professor, if you have some stuff on YouTube to say it.
Just real quick, you mentioned B-Roll Stage over on Rumble. I also posted a link to their channel. Typically on Fridays, you'll see B-sides. I usually hang out there on the Friday evenings. I'm held hostage watching some cheesy movies. Sometimes, occasionally a good film, occasionally not. But doing some live riffing and having some fun with that on Friday evenings. And playing some games and whatnot. So yeah, you'll see us over there. And I posted the link to the Rumble channel over there on Rumble. And then let's see, let's shout out some of our friends here in the YouTube chat. So Celestial Be a Lady, Trevtoon Art, iLord Corey, Lisa WU5XC something, E. Clay Thomason, Sam D. Samsung, Chimera, Jackass G2S, Poker Ace, Con Lives, Vex Electronica, Lasher, Robnot Scoobla, Adrian Veit, Jason Love, Doctor Who. I have Nerdic.
Hey, Jill. Morning, Jill.
Morning, Jill. Ambush, Mr. Brown Alliance, Ron Donafero, Six, Angry Sparrow, Keely Chow, Phantom Outsider, Putin, the Java Trader Utini, Marla Sharondoff, Lucy Meow, Gavin Unit, Istophobos, Captain Palsy, RJ Godzilla, Badfoot, Kodo Rob, Caleb Levine, Kire Runte, Strugun, Fat Joe, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, Yitis, Tomahawk 511, Big Sur River, and the Dead Man. Yeah, and again, Dead Man, Nick Weiser, thank you for the support this evening, and of course from the updated membership there from Vex. Anything else, Price?
No, I think we're good. I think we went over everything. I want to thank our guests today. We had Nick Weiser here, who's a longtime friend of the channel, and Mr. Brown. Really, two people that we don't often see them here. Mr. Brown his first time here, and Nick maybe his second time.
Yeah, it's maybe his second time here.
Yeah, so it was really a great kind of how it all happened spontaneously, and that's what usually happens here on the Night Owl. It is a rather spontaneous show. But Mr. Brown, we're so grateful that you stopped by here.
I hope I didn't derail the stream too much.
No, you're
fine. No,
It's
not
good.
at all.
Thank
Not, you didn't. You only
It's
helped.
very difficult not to go into presenter mode. Sorry.
No,
you're
you
good.
did great, man. You didn't do anything to derail this stream. I mean, there's really nothing you could do to derail it.
Thank
We
you,
usually
Chad.
literally just stand around here, shoot the breeze in the weirdest way. So there's nothing you could do to spoil that. But if
I'll
you have
try
something you
harder next time.
well, hopefully we'll see you here. It won't take another few years. You'll see you at some point again.
If I may, if you're in the States, have a great 4th of July.
Thank you very
Yes,
much, man.
indeed. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
Have a
you,
great day
and
tomorrow.
I guess Mr. Brown, if there's something you want to say before we go, if you want to tell people,
Nothing really. We're on Sundays, 2200 GMT. Well, it's British summertime now, isn't it? So we just talk the shit, don't we, Price, about what's
We
going
do.
on for the week.
Absolutely.
Obviously, if you could throw a sub my way, I would be eternally grateful. So desperate to get to 5K subs. The subs have just
one
been
of these days.
stationary for 2 years.
I think it's going to happen. It's going to
YouTube
happen.
hates me.
No, sometimes strange things happen, but hopefully it'll work out.
Come on,
I'm
folks, come
rooting
through.
for you,
Come
man.
on, come on. Anyway, thank you for having me, Price. Thank you. Cheers,
Thank
Bob.
you for being here,
Yeah.
and we'll see you guys. Today was Thursday, so after the holiday, Tuesday, we'll see you here next week, Tuesday and Thursday.
We'll see.
The Night Owl at 11:45 p.m. Eastern every week, and we'll see you there.
Yeah, and everyone have fun blowing things up and celebrating 250 years without a king.
Safely,
Biggest
of
mistake.
course.
Oh, is it?
When you
Not
say that, you
anymore.
mean to do it in a safe way without anybody,
Yeah.
endangering anybody.
Safely blowing things up.
Yeah, safely blowing it, whatever. But
Good night, everybody.
good night, everybody. Have a happy 4th of July.
Good morning, everybody.
Bye.